Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the show. This is Fun Speculation, and we are live. Oh man, what a crazy day. Also, a sad day because we are gonna be without this gentleman for who knows how long. Been podcasting almost every single
6 years.
fucking week now for the last, almost 6 years with you. So it's gonna be weird, man. Because we started
I
back
thought you were
in
going to say because I thought you were going to say because Xbox was dead again, but I didn't know you were
yeah.
going this route.
No, not yet. We'll talk about that later for sure. But yeah, then ever since like we started the show back in, well, I guess we started in 2020, so it's been like 5 years. 5 years.
We started the show prior to launch, right?
Yeah.
We started the show like how long before because launch was what was
November
the launch?
2020.
November, yeah.
Yeah.
So we started. We must have been talking about it for what 6 months prior to that.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly.
It's been
Maybe
between
that's
5 and
summer?
6, I guess.
Yeah,
Something like
somewhere in
that.
there.
But yeah, it's
Yeah.
been crazy, man, and like done multiple shows at like also lots of other podcasts and other people's channels and stuff together.
Bro.
And
We used to do so many, bro, during COVID.
yeah, we're
Holy
doing
shit.
6 shows a week sometimes, bro. It's
That's
fucking
nuts.
crazy. But yeah, Pong's got a lot of stuff going on, and
He's going to
gonna
boot
be
camp.
yeah, he's going back to space
Yeah, I'm going to
camp.
space camp with Jasper. Jasper's
Jasper's
gonna be my boss.
Jasper got him a VIP pass, a re-entry pass. So
That's right.
like,
I get to
but
skip everything because I went to space camp. I just get to join automatic.
so it's gonna be weird, man. Gonna miss the energy and gonna miss the companionship and brotherhood and stuff, and hanging out every week and talking, catching up, just talking about whatever. And obviously we'll still keep in touch with in the DMs and stuff. But yeah, it's gonna be weird not podcasting with you for a long time, dude. Is because you've been like a brother to me for a while now. So, but yeah. This is Pong Shoal's last show in a while, man. So let's start off with Pong Shoal's. Pong Shoal's. That's his new name when he comes back. He'll be Pong Shoal's. He's going into a line of rubber inserts for shoes. So
Yeah,
it's gonna be Pong Shoal's. But yeah, man, gonna miss you. But yeah, start with the one and only Pong Soul. What have you been up to this week, man?
Nothing. Thanks, Mav. Of course, I'm gonna miss you, brothers. Of course, I'm gonna miss this. Don't count me out. As far as just popping up, if you guys do Game Awards live stream or some shit like that, I might be able to swing that and pop in and obviously do something like that. But yeah, I appreciate you guys. And again, you guys and the chat, you guys know how I feel about you all because I tell you each and every week nothing but love and respect, and I've meant it. And this is part of my therapy every week. I'm gonna be missing my therapy to getting away from things and kind of just be able to decompress here with my brothers, and all my friends, and just to be able to talk gaming. So I'm gonna miss it too. But yeah, I got so much going on, and it's not a forever farewell unless something very dramatic happens. But I will be back next year at some point podcasting. I would like to get back next year, springtime, once I get settled in wherever I get to. And get settled in, then I'll be back. Because again, I love this. I love talking. This is not a job to me. This isn't boring to me. It's just that I need basically every minute that I possibly could get at this point. And so love you, brothers, all of you, and everybody that I've podcasted with. And I've already told PTK, and PTK has already been a hiatus with the shop. That I won't be back, obviously, on the shop on Sunday nights either. So this is it. And obviously, Steele and I have already been on hiatus. But yeah, man, we've been through this war, man, and this generation, and it's kind of funny that as things wind down this generation, how much has actually come true and how much hasn't. We're going to talk a little bit more tonight about some things that we've been talking about for quite a while that people thought we were crazy for, Mav, and well, wouldn't you know it? So we're going to talk about that. But yeah, no, as far as this week goes, again, I have very little time for gaming, which is another reason why, again, if I can't game, I certainly can't come on podcasts and talk about a whole lot of gaming, man. And I'm not paying attention to the news as much as I used to. I still do, but I haven't paid attention to it like I used to. But Yeah, I have very little time, so I've been got a fly in here. What are you doing, fly? Seriously, brother. But I've been playing. I played some Ball X Pit. I get a round in, 2 rounds in a night of Ball X Pit, which is great. Um, it's a fantastic new survival, rogue, vampire survivors game. It's fantastic. It's got a twist on it, and it's really cool. And I'm having a good time with that. I still am way more addicted to Deep Rock Galactic Survivor. That game is still in my top games this year. I can't believe how good that game is, and so I pop that in for a round or two each night as well. Having a blast with that. There's still so much to open up, so much to do in that game. It's insane, man, and I put some hours into it. And then just a couple rounds of Battlefield. Very few, but I put in a few more rounds of Battlefield. And I should say I did get to play the opening of Ninja Gaiden 4. I did actually do that the other night instead. And I want to seriously sit down and play a couple more levels because Platinum, Platinum did their thing again. And just the opening part of it, and they got a photo mode too, which is freaking incredible. I was so happy with that. But they've done their thing. And that combat in Ninja Gaiden 4, phenomenal so far. And that's for me. Again, I'm playing on normal. I'm not doing the steel rain mode. I'm not doing any of that shit. But I think so far the controls feel fantastic. It is responsive as hell, fast as hell, bloody as hell, everything that you want out of a game that has the Ninja Gaiden, name on it. Freaking awesome. So I can't wait to touch more of that. But yeah, shout out to Platinum. And Team Ninja, of course, for their work on this game because it looks so far good. Didn't get the scores that I thought it would. I know when we talked about it, I talked about it with PTK on the shop too a while back. I thought this one might come in at mid 80s to upper 80s, maybe even a chance at a low 90. From how people were reacting to what we were seeing and how people were reacting to playing it at Tokyo Game Show and stuff, I thought I had a chance. And I'm real surprised. Much like I am, a little bit surprised at the Outer Worlds 2 reviews as well, but I shouldn't be. And because again, the reviewers these days, I don't understand who they are. I don't think they're human beings. I've said for a long time, that even if they're human beings, I don't think there's a large portion of gamers the way that we think of gamers out there. I don't think there's a lot of enthusiasts in the journalistic world that review video games. I think a lot of them pretend that they are really excited for gaming still and that they love gaming still because, man, reading the reviews, some of the reviews on Ninja Gaiden 4 and Outer Worlds 2 today, I was scratching my head. And again, both of them are 80s. It's really good. It's really great. You guys know how I feel about this shit, whatever. But I gotta scratch my head some of it. But anyways, that's what I've done this week, Mav. So good to be here, brother. Good, kind of bittersweet as a final show, but yeah, man, great to be here.
It's a good week to have you for your final show at least because there's a lot to talk about this week. I mean, there's a lot of outrage going on Twitter right now. Again, also, so we'll talk about that later. Also, so, but hey, Jasper, what's up with you, man? What have you been up to?
I've had a pretty good week. I've been playing Battlefield, and then kind of been jumping into Fallout 76 the past couple weeks as well, just because I never really gave it a shot back in the day because it was kind of broken and a mess at launch. So I decided, what the hell, why not just try to play it now? So I've been playing that, and ran into Vsauce Michael today at lunch, so that was cool. Yeah, just doing cool shit all the time. So.
Awesome, dude. Who's
just to
Vsauce
be clear,
Michael?
Jasper had to explain to me who this was. He's like,
yeah,
do you know YouTubers? And I'm like, no, not
really. I don't really know
like,
a lot of them.
Michael from Vsauce. I'm like, no, and he's like, oh,
it's
that's
just
cool.
a 25 million sub YouTuber.
That's what he said to me.
Yeah, there's so many super popular YouTubers and streamers and stuff, and I feel like as a content creator and as somebody who's done podcasting for the last over 5 years, I should probably know who some of these people are, but I've never given a shit to actually watch any of these people or any of their content. So I like when people mention like famous YouTubers and streamers, like I know Mr. Beast, right? Like obviously, like it's people like
Of
that,
course.
you know.
Of course.
But there's so many names and stuff that come up all the time, and it like huge news and stuff. I'm like, who the fuck is that? Who the fuck is that? And I feel like
I think it depends on your
like,
interests. It depends on your interests too,
Yeah.
right, Mav? Because there's a lot of stuff you'll never touch, but almost every topic or hobby or whatever has like this group of massive YouTubers, right?
Right.
And it's like if you're not interested or not watching it on a consistent basis, yeah, you're never gonna hear about something.
Yeah, I feel like
bro.
younger like crowds, like
Yeah.
the 20s somethings and younger, like these are like the celebrities of their era. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Correct.
for
More so.
us,
I mean,
it's like add the actors and the
And
fans.
sports.
And
Yeah, for example,
sports,
like
yeah.
Pong was talking about the NBA stuff. I'm like, he named like 4 people. I have no idea who the fuck these people are.
Exactly. Exactly. Bro.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it's always been that way, right? The Jasper could rip off a bunch of stuff about Star Trek, right? And I'd have a baseline knowledge, and I would have a little bit more knowledge than the average person does about Star Trek for sure, because I'd watch. But he's well beyond me, right? But for somebody,
Yeah.
that has zero interest, they're not going to have any clues to who those characters are or who those actors are either, right? So it just all is kind of that way. And YouTube's no different now. But there are some massive people out there where Jasper goes, "Oh yeah, he had 25 million." And I'm like, damn. And I've never because I do watch some science videos and stuff. I'm like, he's never been like propped up in my YouTube channel or said, "Hey, you should watch him" at all. Their logarithms never suggested him. I'm like, okay, that's a little weird, but whatever. Okay.
Oh man. So as far as me in gaming this past week, some weird shit happened. So I obviously I've played. Hey, I played Ninja Gaiden 4. First off,
wait, I already know where you're going.
Yeah,
I already know where
Ninja
you're going.
Gaiden 4. First off, I agree with you. And like, dude, the it's a great action game when you get through with one of the massive battles, and then you finish it, and then you can feel your adrenaline coming down. You know what I mean? Like it's like a certain like, holy shit. You know what I mean? Like that was a fucking like that was like you realize how much it got you when you finish the battle, and then like you're standing there and you're like, is everybody dead? You know, and like yes, they are. It's like, and then you can feel that like, and that's the feeling that Ninja Gaiden 4 gives for me, and which is like, I haven't had that feeling with an action game like that in a long time. So absolutely awesome, man. I'm fucking loving it so far. I've also played a little bit of Keeper. Walking around the lighthouse, shining light on shit and stuff. Hey, it seems interesting, artistic and stuff like that. It's not. It's kind of in a weird way when you start playing. It's like kind of hard to stop at the same time, but it's not also something I'd look forward to go back to. You know. So it's kind of like that strange game that I think a lot of people are going to super appreciate, but it's not going to be for everybody, obviously, right? Because it's a very like artsy kind of environment kind of game. Now there is some beautiful areas in that game. Like we're going through some of the like tunnels and caves and stuff. And you got a lot of bioluminescence and stuff going on. It kind of feels like you're on a fucking Disney ride through like the caves, and you see all the lights on the walls and shit or something. Like it's kind of crazy, man. So yeah, Keeper is interesting, not necessarily something I'm like gonna super look forward to playing more of, but I can definitely understand who it's for, right?
Yeah. Downloaded, but I have not tried that yet. Downloaded it, but did not try it. I watched Epic Treasure, shout out to ET. I watched her stream it a little bit, and it was gorgeous. It was a cool art style, and I want to try it, but like you, Mav, there's just so much to play right now, especially you're about to talk about the game that's really captivated you, and obviously the audience here, the chat is going to totally understand. The chat's going to totally understand why you haven't been playing Battlefield 6, why you haven't been playing Final Fantasy Tactics, games that we called GOATs, right? Yeah, it's going to be quite obvious as soon as he tells you what he's been playing this week, folks.
So I also had planned on playing a lot of Arc Raiders this weekend. To try it out.
Oh, that's right, Mav. How did that go for you, brother?
Well, I started it by myself, and I was like, wow, this is great. And I killed a guy, an actual person, right? And I was like, yes. And then 2 massive fucking robots in the sky just lasered me to death. And I was like, oh, wow, I would like to probably play this with people. So I put out a DM. I was like, hey, Anybody in my friends list or whoever in our group are gonna be playing this weekend? And like, yeah, Bob was like, hey, I'm gonna be playing. Fuzzy was like, hey, I'm gonna be playing tomorrow. But then something happened. Okay, then something happened that totally erased all time this past 3 or 4 days at least. So Kate, as I talked about last week, was playing this game called Supermarket Simulator a lot. And I was watching her, and then this thing happened. I started kind of criticizing some of the choices that she was making, and then she just made a comment. It was like, "I would like to see you how you do it," and she's like, "I want to see you play," and I'm like, "Okay." So in my mind, I'm like, "I'm gonna show her how it's done. I'm gonna show her how to manage this grocery store." So I was like, "Oh, we're gonna play this, and I'm gonna get started and just kind of." Man, that was a bad decision.
I did play that with a group of friends, Supermarket Simulator, over the weekend.
Did you get
and that's
in?
tough, even with 4 people. No,
Yeah.
I mean, we played it for like 4 hours, and then we're like, okay, this is just like the same thing, and then it's like, we're done.
So me and my wife now have competing grocery stores. We're on opposite corners of the same street. Not really, but that's how I view it in my head. And
that'd be dope if it was actually multiplayer online. You could do.
You can play online, but you work together in a store.
Yeah, but you work together. I'm talking about like
competing
grocery stores. That'd be freaking amazing.
Which I didn't even know it had multiplayer till yesterday, and my daughter told me. Because I just ignored the multiplayer section on the screen. We just each doing a thing. So I started it, and holy shit, man. That game is a time melter, and like it's something about it, like you just have to keep doing the next day, and you got to keep doing the next day. Then you got to make the decisions, and it has all these goals to try and achieve, to like expand your store, get more products in there. Then you have to hire more people, and then like all this stuff. It kind of like formulated like a tycoon kind of game, if anybody knows what that is. But it's like kind of got that RPG grind and like thing to it. And God, it's so fucking addicting, dude. So I've literally spent probably the last 4 or 5 days, I think, playing. I don't know, probably put in like 30-40 hours in Supermarket Simulator.
You know what that sounds like, Mav, is when I got addicted to Arcade Paradise. Remember Arcade Paradise when that came out, and I was addicted to that. Same setup. Just one more day. Let me just go through this one more day.
Maybe it's different because like I played it with 4 people, like including myself, and then like I guess just because we each have our own individual job, like you kind of get everything done a lot easier and faster. Whereas like I guess if you're by yourself, you're like, well, shit, I don't have anyone to stock the shelves. So I'll go do that. And then, now my line's backed up. Whereas like we had a cashier, we had a stocker, we had a janitor, we had a guy doing deliveries. So we had everything covered. So you never were behind on anything.
Yeah. It says my time played is 2 days already. I think I started it like a week ago, 2 days.
How long?
It's 48 hours, over 48 hours.
You said 30 to 40?
Yeah, I was wrong. I put in more hours than I thought. But yeah, it's like this grind thing, man. I don't know what it is. Like, so we'll be in bed at night. Like, hey, do you want to put something on? I want to watch you play Supermarket Simulator. I'm like, okay. So I'll put it on the TV, or like she'll play on that TV behind me here. I'll play it on the PC, which is awesome because it's also Play Anywhere. So like my progress carries over from the TV to the PC and stuff. So yeah, man, Supermarket Simulator, dude, fucking hell.
Hey, there's some people in the chat that are just backing your ass up, man. So again, this is a Power Wash Simulator thing all over again, where I was laughing at you guys for playing that, but a whole lot of people are, and it looks like part of the chat knows exactly what you're talking about. So hey, shout out to you, Mav.
Shout out to you. I was not
expecting. Screw AAA, screw big budget games, screw goats coming back into our lives again, Mav.
Tokyo Extreme Racer actually officially launched, and we played the preview, and I played through and beat all the preview stuff. I haven't touched Tokyo Extreme Racer yet. Ninja Gaiden 4, Ninja Gaiden's returned, and I played a good amount. I played like I played past the prologue. Sure. I'm into the first chapter later on into it. Final Fantasy Tactics is back. Like it's just Jesus, like. So many awesome stuff to play. Battlefield 6 just came out, and hey, I spent some good time with that too, and I'm loving it. But then I just got addicted to this game, man. So, and it's because of Game Pass too. I never would have touched it. So,
and man, we found out the Two Worlds 2
Yes.
actually has still online multiplayer on Steam, and we might.
I know, bro. When you said that, I was like, wow. Because at 2, I didn't play as much of 2 as I did 1.
Oh, 2 is so freaking.
I remember
good,
getting
they
2 because
improved
I was
so much.
I was so fucking hyped for 2 when it came out because I love the first one.
And then you played some type of simulator instead of playing that.
And I know the simulators weren't really a thing as much back then.
I know. That's why I'm joking with you. Something else dumb came out that Matt was like, "Oh, I gotta play this."
Yeah, I always had to.
The remastered version
play
of Pong
everything.
came out, and Matt was like, "Oh, I gotta play this."
The remastered version of Pong. Is that what we're gonna get back when you come back after your hiatus?
Remastered.
Yeah.
I'll be remastered. I'm gonna get plastic surgery. That's actually
that should be. You should change your name to Pong Remastered or Pong Remake.
Shit.
Fuzzy Belvedere, what is up, Fuzz? How you doing, bro?
Not too bad, man. Sorry about being late. Speaking
Oh,
about
don't worry,
adventure
Hollywood.
games,
Don't worry. Big time. Don't worry, man. Don't worry. We get it.
Speaking
We get
of
it, brother.
games
We get it.
speaking of games that are complete time sinks, Ball versus Pit.
Yeah.
That's definitely one that's taken up a lot of my time. I tried the supermarket simulator. I like it, but I'm getting frustrated on trying to get different products in the store and stuff like that. But
if you got questions or need some help, just come my way, bro. I got you.
and then, as you can see behind me, NASCAR 25 came out. Although I'm probably going to enjoy it more when it's on PC because some of the paint schemes are pretty basic and stuff. But I have everything figured out for all the levels except for Cup. For whatever reason, restarts I can't keep up. Like I always try to put things at 100%, and then adjust like the tires and the suspension and all that stuff. But restarts, they just leave me. It's like I'll go from like 12th to 40th, and it's like maybe I can catch up in the draft, or maybe on Richmond I can catch up after about 20 laps, but I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
A racing game that Fuzzy's struggling at? Holy shit. Everybody, stop the presses. Yo, wow. Fuzzy, what's going on,
They kill me on restarts, man. That's I just can't figure it out. Like I'm good on truck. I'm good on Xfinity. Cup, it's like, see ya. I don't know. And I'm not spinning the tires. Like I'm checking to make sure, okay, am I spinning the tire? Nope, not spinning the tires.
They're all cheating, Fuzz.
I gotta figure that out. That's gonna.
Is there like is it because like a difficulty or something, or is like a slider was like realistic or something?
I've tried tuning it down a bit, and then it makes everything else but Cup super easy, and then I'm barely keeping up, but they still leave me on restarts. It's like I don't know if like I'm used to doing my own rear end gear setups.
Whoa, pause.
And transmission setups, but I think now they don't allow that in Cup, so you're pretty much stuck with whatever rear end that they issue, and then the gearing for like first and second gear you could probably tweak, but even then it's like
how long does a race last? Because I know like real life NASCAR is like 17 hours a day, and it's like okay, well I'm just not gonna waste my time on that. So how long does an actual race last in the game?
You can turn it all the way up to 100% if you want, but I'm just doing 25%. Like 25% and then do 4 times wear on fuel and tires. Makes it feel like the real race. Like you're able to finish a race in like 35 minutes or so. And they'll have like the different stages and stuff, like when they, do like the mid-race breaks and stuff like that. But
so if you cranked it, you'd be looking at like 2.5, 3 hours in one race.
Yeah. No, I don't have time to do 2 or 3 hours, especially after I'll get up to like 12th, and then it's like, all right, let's pit. Oh, the restart? Yeah, I'm back to like 36 or 40.
Fuzzy, isn't there a Le Mans race game where they actually do it? Like it's like the full thing. It's like 24 hours or some crazy shit.
Yeah,
I think there is one that where it actually sims it out. Like you actually can sit down and play it for 24 hours because I think there's competitions on it and people do swap out drivers and shit or something like that.
Yeah,
I can't.
Well, there's that, but there's also like with Forza Motorsport, you could do 100% and do like the time change and do like the different classes and stuff like that. But man, I mean, it's tough enough just doing like the GT cars, but having like the prototypes and things like that.
Nah.
Good luck with that. Like, I haven't tried any online ones. I've tried like the I didn't even do the 100% because I wasn't doing like actual 24 hours. I have it where it's like I think it was 16 times speed and then
Makes sense.
like 4 times wear, and that gives you like a 24-hour span in like 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And that was as far as I wanted to do, like 40 minutes sitting down and racing and doing pits and then getting the speeding penalty or going in thinking you're going to change out 4 tires, but because everybody else did 2, you got to change the 2. So it's like, yeah, if I was to do a 24-hour, I'd be pulling my hair out. Like, there's no way. I could try it in real life, but no, not for the game. I'd be breaking the steering wheel behind me and stuff. So
I do want to see like a streaming series of you, Fuzzy, of streaming the whole like NASCAR Cup series, like once one a week or something. You know, you could do the thumbnails with you having like the whole like mask on, and holding your fucking helmet with your like racer suit next to your fuzzy NASCAR, and make sure Felix the cat is on it. And then like go through the actual season and like each week do a race and like on the hardest difficulty, like full sim settings and everything. It would be fucking entertaining as hell because I don't think anybody else is doing that. Just saying.
Nah.
And then you just have a commentator. It's like, "Good morning. We're coming at you from Daytona 500. The weather's sunny with a slight chance of rain in the afternoon. So hopefully we get this race out of here.
We'll see how the tires handle on this slick track today."
Mav will record the voiceovers for the intro and the play-by-play.
Yeah. Well, remember when Jasper did the play-by-play for our Madden stream?
Yes.
He doesn't know much about the football, so he's like,
number 7 has the ball,
and he throws the ball.
Like,
oh,
Pog,
and I think he caught
Pog threw the ball to the wrong team. The wrong team's got it.
That guy caught it. Number 40 something, I think, is what it says. I don't know. The team with the blue star in their helmets is winning right now. It seems like. Man. Anyway, yeah, I would love to see that, bro. I'd absolutely love to see that. But shout out to the chat. Thank you all for being here. See lots of awesome people here hanging out. Earlier, Pong, you had mentioned, hey, some stuff this generation has kind of come true that we predicted years ago. And we've kind of alluded to this numerous times, but like everybody seems so shocked.
I saw on Twitter other people predicted it. That's all I'm saying.
Man, go back
to
like
some of the too, whatever.
Earliest conversations we've had on this fucking show, and we've gotten a lot of backlash about the thoughts about where things were headed for the future of gaming and stuff like that. People are like, no, it'll never happen. You guys are crazy. Y'all are talking about like things that are like 20, 30 years away from now. And like, I mean, now granted, even for us, a lot of these things have happened a lot sooner than we anticipated. But the latest reports about I guess according to Sarah Bond's comments about what the next generation of Xbox might be, being, hey, a premium, enthusiast, expensive, high-end device, kind of made headlines. Don't worry, we're going to talk about the 30% stuff and all that other kind of stuff later, because I guess we have to, because that's what everybody's talking about today. But as far as the console go, the PC hybrid thing or whatever, that was something I didn't necessarily see early on. We were predictions wise, is like allowing multiple storefronts and all that shit. That was kind of like a unforeseen thing. But as far as like where they were going with hardware, making it for the high end, making it for the enthusiast, as they've expanded access to gaming across so many different devices, to where they've actually lowered the barrier of entry into the ecosystem, to where you don't even have to own a hard piece of hardware to play in the ecosystem if you don't want to. Where, because of that access now, it allows for them to be able to put their games in all these different places. But hey, the console and the market that's there is still people they want to sell to. So what kind of devices are they going to be selling them? And as they were less focused on having to sell a mass market hardware in order to support the ecosystem, it became clear to me early on that I think what's going to happen is it was going to become more of an enthusiast machine where it's going to be for the diehards. It's going to be for the people that have to have that next hardware right away, day one, and want to get it and are willing to pay what it takes to be in that ecosystem and experience the best place to play or whatever the marketing is going to be at that point. And it kind of seems like that's exactly what they're doing with next gen hardware. Because we've had these discussions early on back years ago, Pong, was this a surprise for you, or it's kind of expected what Sarah Bond said?
Well, I mean, obviously it wasn't a surprise, right? It's good that she came out and verified it though, so we can kind of, again, for the people who are going to continue the discussion, again, I think it's fun to speculate about next gen, and we've been doing it for a long time. We've been doing it for a hell of a long time because we're always speculating, and anytime anything comes up, we've talked about the future, like you said years ago about where we thought things were going. We've been wrong about a lot of stuff. Again, we're not those
100%.
people out here that don't ever talk about the times we're wrong or admit where we're wrong. But that's what happens with speculation. Again, these people that act like that they are always right when they speculate is complete bullshit. Obviously, you get a lot of things wrong if you're having a good time with it.
Or the people that say you're not allowed to speculate on shit that early on, man.
Gatekeeping. Again, these are fun conversations, and it's fun to think about what the future, and that's what we always did. But as far as Xbox goes specifically, I mean, I just think it's great that Sarah Bond finally came out and said it, and said it in the same way that we've said it. Like, that's why I posted a DM. Like, what kind of crazy person would guess this? Because as you saw what Xbox is doing here, again, the way that they've been going about things just said to me, and why I was on board with this early and said that this was the way they were going to go. If this was going to be a hybrid machine, it was going to cost, and it was going to be for the enthusiasts, is because it makes sense, Matt. They don't have a need to have they don't have a need to have 60,000, 70,000, 80,000 consoles sold anymore. Like, that's not Xbox's
million
anymore. It's or 60 million. Yeah,
I think they need at least 60,000.
Nah, they don't even need that. They don't even need that. Million, 67 million. Yeah. Again, they're not competing like the way that Nintendo and PlayStation are still set up. That's gone. That's done. We've known this for a long time. That's what we've been trying to, when we speculated, that's what we see on this and where Xbox is going. And I think it's been very clear, but there's been a lot of people who don't believe it. There's been a lot of people who don't want to believe it. And there's a lot of people fighting against it and saying, oh, you guys don't know anything. You're not making decisions. You don't know what they're. Listen, never claimed to be insider, never claimed to have inside knowledge, but it just was clear as day to me which way they were going here. And because they now have people accessing their ecosystem, which is that's what they want everywhere, that the console wasn't as important anymore. But if you're going to do a console, the thing that I focused on, Mav, really, when I started talking about this, was that if you're going to still make hardware and you're going to still sell it, you have to make it compelling. And when you make something compelling, a lot of times that's going to mean high end. That's going to mean exclusive stuff. That's going to mean that you are pushing tech. You are pushing stuff that not everybody's going to be using yet in all of their boxes, right? Especially Nintendo, because Nintendo's pulled themselves out of it. But even Sony isn't going to have all the tech and all the stuff that Xbox is going to put in this next box, at least from what I believe and from what Sarah Bond is talking. And that stuff is expensive. And so that's why I said from the beginning, if you're going to make a compelling box, you're going to make a box, and this is what I still believe, that yes, they're not competing one for one anymore. They don't care about that. The competition's over with. It's done. Xbox is in a different realm. Nintendo's in a different realm. PlayStation's in a different realm. But if you're going to still do that, then you can make something where gamers, enthusiast gamers, I'm not talking about fanboys per se. Obviously, a lot of Xbox people, including myself, I said I would be interested in this device, are going to be the first-time buyers. But you can make something compelling for the gamer that has it all in their living room that says, ooh, yeah, I got PlayStation. Yeah, I got Switch 2. I got a PC, but man, that Xbox thing, Like they got something really cool there. And I need to add that to my home theater system. I need to add that next to my TV. And I thought they still had a shot at doing something like that if they did it right. But you got to go outside the box. So that's why I always said from the beginning when we started this that I thought this was going to be an enthusiast device. Yes, it's going to be expensive as hell. Yes, because of where things are in the world right now and everything tech-wise is really expensive. If that doesn't alleviate, it's going to be even more expensive. Is that going to price out some people? Absolutely it is, right? And I understand the people who say gaming shouldn't be expensive. I understand all of that. There's going to be options for you elsewhere if you want to get cheaper, right? I just think where tech is going in general, where the gaming industry is going in general, really doesn't allow for cheap stuff anymore. Like I think we're getting to that point. You can argue that, oh well, but there's still indies, there's still AA, and we can still play those. We don't need all this expensive hardware. You're correct. But if the gaming industry is going to embrace AI, if the gaming industry is going to embrace all this cloud tech, if the gaming industry is pushing that stuff forward, it's the big boys, right? It's the big players in this. Then unfortunately, tech is going to get more and more expensive. And I'm not justifying it. Again, you guys know I will never justify the fact that $1 billion, $1 trillion companies are out here passing along all the costs to consumers. I will never justify that, right? But I've said from the beginning, Xbox don't care. This is Microsoft Gaming now. Microsoft don't care. Microsoft don't give an F about your feelings. They don't give an F about whether or not you've got enough money to afford it. They're not going to take a loss on this stuff anymore. And that adds to that cost as well. So I think you add the fact that they're doing something new, that they're going to add things in there like their own custom AI stuff, and their own custom cloud stuff. And they're going to push, the industry standard forward in what they're going to do with AMD, along with the fact that they aren't going to eat the cost anymore. You're going to get a machine that's up there. And yes, it's going to put people out of maybe buying an Xbox next go around. But honestly, they're going to tell you that everything is an Xbox. That's what they've been telling you now. Yeah. That is there. So they're going to tell you, hey, we've got options for you if you want to still get in the ecosystem. You're going to have access on a tablet. You're going to have access on your older, your Xbox Series S or your Xbox Series X. That's going to continue. You're going to have access on your TV. Like they're going to expand that out and do those kind of things. And that's what they're going to tell you. And you're going to have to make a choice, right? You're going to have to make a decision if you save up and you go for that device. If you save up and start saving up for spending a little bit more, but starting to enter the full gaming PC realm, right? Potentially. Or if you're going to move over to PlayStation, or if you're going to move over to Nintendo Switch for your main setup, you're going to have to kind of make that choice. And yeah, is this what I wanted all along? No, of course not. Again, I've said from the get-go that I wanted Xbox to still be competing. I'd love for them to be doing a more traditional console with exclusives and going to battle. Like I've said that from all the beginning, right? But that's not happening anymore. It's never going to happen anymore. So what I said is, you give me a setup box that's a hybrid PC console, but you figure out this UI and you make that UI universal across all your devices, right? Anywhere I go to play Xbox or anywhere I go to log in that I can't game on, and I can fire up that same UI across all that, and all my saves and everything else is there. And I got all these games that play anywhere that I am, no matter what. You create that vision of that ecosystem that we obviously believe that they're going for, and it's exactly what they're going for. But you create a setup box that gives me my PC catalog on top of the Xbox with the ease of use of a console, because I still mainly play on console, even though I have a higher end PC right now. I still play more on my console. You give me that in a box next to my TV, and I will make an effort to go buy that, because to me, that's worth it. Now, everybody's going to have to make their own decision. But to me, that's worth it. And I think, Matt, again, that's compelling. People say, yeah, but it makes zero sense to have all these other, to have all the other storefronts on there. It makes zero sense for Xbox. Xbox don't care no more. They don't care. They don't care where you buy your games. They're getting a slice of the pie no matter where you buy your games. They are done with that. They just don't care. But I think enough people will look at that map that have PC, that have games on PC, that have games on console, that have games everywhere, and they can start looking at that device and go, maybe it is worth it. I like that. Anyways, that's my 2 cents. But no, it wasn't surprising to me. Glad to hear Sarah Bond. I know it shocked some people. It's not. It's just not shocking. They're gonna go make something very cool. And then let's not forget, real quick, Matt. Let's not forget too. People are jumping the gun. This is their first party output. This is what their first party is going to do. This is what the in-house hardware is going to look like. They could still do exactly what they're doing. And Sarah said, the handheld gives you an idea. The ROG Ally and the ROG Ally X give you an idea of what we are doing. Did she mean that in the hybrid system alone? Or did she mean that we're going to give third parties the opportunity to also build their version of our system, and they potentially could do a lesser powerful version that will be cheaper than what the first party offering is going to be, the actual Xbox,
or even more powerful and more expensive,
or
too.
more powerful, right? Exactly, man.
And
so
you could have new devices every year or every other year from who knows who, and
just like PCs.
Exactly, and that's that. I think that's the hardest thing for people to wrap their head around, where things have been going. And even also, as we saw the outrage over this is an Xbox commercial that came out yesterday, is Xbox no longer wants you to need an Xbox actual console to be able to access the content. They don't want you to need that. Now, if you want one, they are more than happy to sell you a dedicated gaming device. And their hardware that they're going to be making is for that enthusiast, the Xbox diehards. Much like I would argue this Xbox ROG Ally is for the Xbox enthusiasts as well, because there's already a ROG Ally X, right? So this is an Xbox Ally X ROG. So like this is for those Xbox gamers, and it's also an idea of where they said they're headed, right? Like where. And we even had answers to this, because the biggest question I kept having is this direction that they were going with the PC hybrid next generation was the backward compatibility of our existing full libraries of our games, right? And that was the whole thing. And that's what, all the people that are out there, it's not really Xbox device because you can't play all your Xbox games. All these conversations are going on about the Xbox Ally right now. And it's like, well, it can play all the Xbox Anywhere games, which includes all the first party, anything that launched this generation from first party, including a growing library of third party games. I looked, there's over 1,500 games now that are Xbox Play Anywhere, and they keep adding them like frequently. So that is growing. And part of the reason it's growing is because they're pushing into this direction, right? Because the next generation, the PC storefront, Xbox storefront, there is no difference there. And that will be where you buy your games, and the things will just be accessible from wherever. The question I always had is, what does that mean for our past existing library? Because it doesn't work on a PC now unless it's Xbox Play Anywhere. And asking every publisher to just completely allow them to make every game Xbox Play Anywhere was not really something that I foresaw going to happen. So actually there was news recently that came out also that there is that answer. That's something they are working towards right now, and that is emulation. Emulation for the last 3 generations that we've had for Xbox supposedly will be available on these next-gen devices. So, and also could retroactively be put on the Xbox ROG Ally X and also any other PC handhelds or anything like that you end up owning as well. Which also, if you just have a PC in your house, potentially, I don't know if they're going to be able to allow this, but being able to access my whole fucking console library from my PC right here, be fucking sick, man. And just to open up a Series X behind the problem with this, I'm looking at it like, holy shit, that fucking rules. Because I get access to all of my fucking games anywhere I am. I made a post about that, and people fucking lost their minds on me in the comments. Now, that's a whole nother thing we'll get into later. But there's so many things they're doing with this direction that actually benefit me. Now, I have to pay more for that device when it launches and made for the TVs? Yeah, I will. But will it also be more beneficial for me as a gamer? Probably so. So we'll have to make the decision when it comes to it, depending on what they actually announce. And I think maybe that announcement's coming next year. So we'll have to wait and see on that. Jasper, what do you think about it, man?
So I will say, like, I'm slightly surprised. I'm just not like of the direction that they're going. I knew they were going to do that. Just I guess the time frame aspect. I didn't think they would necessarily launch the next gen with this idea in mind of like you can do PC and console at the same time or whatever they're going to do with it. And I just figured that would kind of become more towards the end of or middle of the next generation, but
Yeah.
their time frames have kind of sped up. And from the tech leaks, we kind of known that they're doing some kind of weird, crazy stuff with the next Xbox from like the FCC leaks that we've had regarding next gen and stuff. I thought it would be more just like them saying hybrid console because they didn't necessarily know how to frame it because they were putting the AI chip in it or whatever. But for me, for them to sell me on this, they have to put something interesting and unique in the device. Because if they're just making it where it's PC and console, like I'm just going to stick to my PC at the end of the day. So they have to do something that's actually kind of unique for me to be like, oh, I want to try that. But it also can't be like a gimmick where like they do one thing and it's just like they make one game for this whatever this technology is in the box and they never touch it again. Like so, for me, it's going to have to be kind of a wait and see like what makes the next Xbox special besides it just being able to access a PC storefront because I can already do that.
I'll tell you this probably too, Jasper, is there's I think that device is going to be made more for the people that just enjoy playing on their TVs. Where if you're happy just sitting at your desk playing, then you won't need one. You just fucking play on the PC because it'll be the same damn thing.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the thing where people are like wrapping their heads with, I want to play on an Xbox. Well, like, if you launch, like, if I launch the Xbox app on my PC, it says in the bottom, launching Xbox, right? And then it opens up now, and they've made a good improvement so far this year with the storefront and access to all the games. They keep making those improvements when you launch it, and like, it's just, hey, this is the Xbox experience, and it's not much different than launching a console, right? Then like, what is playing on an Xbox? At the end of the day, it's just the sticker on the back of the box of who manufactures the product, right? If you buy a Dell console PC hybrid or an Asus like OEM device that's a PC Xbox hybrid or whatever these things are, and you pick up your controller and you boot it up and it launches into the Xbox storefront and dashboard, and you have your friends list, party chat, all the same shit that we have today on an Xbox. What makes an Xbox is only, to some, it just has to be manufactured solely by Microsoft, right? And at the end of the day, that's not what they care about. I don't think they just care about you accessing the stuff. So I would say to you, like, depends on what kind of device you have, right? Like if you have a PC, that's great, and you're accessing your games there, you won't need to buy one of those things, and that's fine with them, right?
That's
because you're still playing
like,
your games and buying them, you know, like exactly.
At the end of the day, I guess I've just grown up. I'm old enough now to where I don't give a fuck where I play the games. As long as I can play whatever game I want to play anywhere I want to play it, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, that's the same with me. It doesn't, it doesn't really matter. I'm still playing Xbox. Somebody was like, I play games. I don't play Xbox. Man, I remember as a fucking kid, I was playing on Nintendo. Like I'm playing Nintendo. That's what I said. So I was playing on the Master System. So like I'm playing Sega. When I got the Xbox, I'm playing Xbox. If I'm playing PlayStation, you know what I mean? Like
I saw your tweet, and you're like, you said like I don't know if it's a generational thing. Maybe like we just grew up saying that or whatever. But then I was thinking back like, no, I definitely went home and be like, no, I'm playing Xbox today or whatever. So I don't know.
Right.
Maybe it's just like a now generation thing.
Yeah, and like when I launched the Xbox PC app on my PC, and I'm playing my Xbox games that my progress carries over and stuff, and I'm playing on an Xbox controller, and I get achievements. I have my friends list. I have party chat if I want all that same stuff. Like I still feel like I'm playing Xbox. Now, if I go to Steam, I'm playing Steam games. You know what I mean? Like it's just mentally how I think of it anyway. But yeah, it's interesting, the conversation out there. It's like we're so used to a console being a console and having to need the console to access the content.
And I think maybe it's just because like the more that I've gotten into the Xbox community and the podcast community the last few years or whatever, and then I left it and I kind of jump back in every now and then, I just get tired of seeing all the console war crap. It's so cringy to me when you just look at it from the outside. It's like you're just a fake person that I can't stand to be around. So I just stopped giving a shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I made it like it was clear to me how much hate there still is. Like some of the posts I made this past week, and I'm just like, what the fuck is wrong with people, man? Seriously, there's some fucking like people got massive fucking issues out there. Fuzzy Belvedere, what about you, sir? What do you think about the announcement of the Enthusiast machine? Are you looking forward to having or the option to buy one of those for your TV, or you gonna stick to PC primarily, or what are you gonna do?
I guess it comes down to price. I like that they are saying that it's going to be more of a premium thing, but the one thing I hope we don't do is kind of like what the PlayStation Nation kind of did with the $80 or $100. I'm fine paying $100 for a game. Like let's not talk
Yeah.
prices as far as how far we're okay with it, because to them premium could mean 600 because it's more expensive than what their previous consoles have been. So we'll see soon enough, but I think my limit's at 800. If it's over the 800 mark for their branded product, which they've dropped hints in numerous places, like they said it's going to be a premium experience, a premium product, but they also keep pointing that the pricing, in a way, and the way they're structuring when they point to the pricing of the Asus ROG Ally or Xbox Ally, it was up to them to make it $1,000, and it sounds like they would have made it for less. So I don't know if we still possibly see some subsidy stuff still, but it seems like they're framing it as, well, Asus, decided that it was $1,000. Had we done it, it would have been 800 or 900. So I'm hoping they're still going with that, subsidy mindset to some extent, where it's not going to be the same as what you would see, from the OEMs, let's say. I think this Asus partnership for this handheld device is definitely showing a direction that they'll probably lean into. Just like you see with the Surface laptops versus all the other Copilot laptops that were out there. They were all labeled as Copilot laptops, but, Acer made some, Lenovo made some, and they made their own. And the prices were differing even for like similarly equipped or similarly optioned devices, where some of their, I guess, 14 and below size screens were actually cheaper than what the others were, but their 15 inch screen was a little bit pricier. So maybe we'll see the 2 SKU thing kind of break into those norms where the Series X equivalent might be 800 or 900 plus, and maybe there still is a Series S equivalent that's not as entry level as the Series S was, but still within reason in the 5, 6, or 700 price range. So curious to see how it goes. Really looking to see what the pricing is, because if it's $800 and that's cheaper than me upgrading my 3080 to a 5080, by all means, then that's what it's going to be. But if I can get a 5080, which it seems like the prices are coming down on those, where they're now in the 1100 range as opposed to the 1800 to 3500 range, then that might be an option as well. So it's great that we have these options. I'm kind of at a point where if it is an 800 device, then hopefully by that point I would have already sworn off the Xbox Ally and just wait for the Steam Deck 2 or the Xbox Ally 2 or whatever, or maybe Xbox's own handheld device. Because after spending $1,000 and then they're talking about another 800 to 1,000, yeah, I'm not that I'll be tapped out, but there's other devices I'm going to want in the meantime, because there's probably going to be a replacement for the Quest at that point. Steam seems like they're hinting at doing a Quest 3, or what would probably the Quest 4 by the time it releases, competition kind of thing. So that's something I may be interested in picking up as well. But yeah, I like that Xbox is still reassuring us that there is next gen hardware and that it's going to be a valiant effort. It's not something that they're just going to throw together and be like, "Hey, here you go. We made a console." No, it's going to be like, I would say at least Series X level, tech for that generation, if not better. I'm still kind of wondering what this AI component's going to be like. If it's, hey, like here's a update to the map. If you need some help on finding this loot, just click here. Like I don't necessarily want that. I have a computer or a laptop to do that if I frustrated enough in not finding stuff, so I don't need the AI built in. I mean, it would be cool, but it's not what I would say
I mean,
is
that's going to
something
be
I'm.
like what you as a user, I think, see as the AI, but the AI
Mhm.
itself that Microsoft is more looking forward to is just offloading compute tasks that the GPU or CPU would normally do to the AI chip itself.
And I'm hoping it's leaning more towards that, almost like a upres or like
Yeah.
DLSS kind of thing, or auto HDR and all those other things. So if it's just solely that, I'm totally on board, because that to me is more useful use of the tech. But if it winds up being gimmicky, uh, I don't know how much support they'll get as far as, like, unless it's user based content that they'll focus on as far as like map hints or game hints and things like that. But if it's
Yes.
more of a visual audio, or detail, or maybe an offload of compute power for the NPCs or things like that, or more NPCs and particle effects on screen, yeah, I'm all for that. But I just hope we get to see a glimmer of it or an inkling of it at the VGAs. That's kind of, I'm glad they're talking about it, but I kind of want to see that aha or wow moment, almost like they did with the Series X, like what was it, 5 or 6 years ago. So I can't wait for that moment.
Yeah, man. That's it remains to be seen a lot. Like everything has to still be announced, right? And we'll wait to see on pricing. Like I think 800 would be the bare minimum of what I could see. I'm at this point with what way she was phrasing it, and to think about them putting them in position for the future of that generation with the device and them manufacturing it over multiple years and stuff. I'm thinking probably on the higher end. Now, in retrospect, though, because of the kind of device that it will be, it could be opposite this gen, where we actually see the original launch hardware end up actually going down and new devices come out more frequently to replace that has different like levels of power, because it's more open for them to do that kind of thing in that situation, as they're not beholden to having a specific set that are standard of that they're trying to meet for every game that they create. But the other question I have, that, and I was thinking about this, with that device in the future, and that's the next generation, with last generation being at that point all emulation, including Series X and Series S hardware, right, would be emulated on these devices for our libraries of back compat games. What does that mean for the support of that generation and the crossover and transition with game makers and developers, especially third parties, of how to launch their games on Xbox? Like, well, they'll be launching on the new Xbox storefront kind of thing, mainly PC. It's just all one Xbox storefront at that point. But like the Series S at that point will be like so far behind the current gen, and making big new AAA games at that point. Like, do you make it for Xbox Series X and S and also next gen Xbox? Or does that at that point, because of the transition, unlike this gen where the Series X or the Xbox One X and the Xbox One carried over for a few years, does that kind of make for new games, big new AAA games, the last gen more obsolete in that
It
transition?
doesn't. If you make a device that's PC like, it doesn't matter for your hardware spec because you just change your settings.
Well, I'm talking about for the Series X owners today and the Series S owners today. When new games come out 2 years into the next gen, this past gen, they were like Xbox One and Xbox One X were still supported, right?
Oh, I see what you
But
did.
like, will these developers that are making AAA games in 2027, 2028, 2029 want to put their games on Series X and Series S
They don't
when?
even want to put them on there now.
They've already got an
Right.
answer. They've already
That's
got
what
an
I'm
answer
saying.
for it, Mav. they've had an answer for it. They've already got it, and it's going to be better. Cloud streaming.
Right.
You want to play the new games on your
Play
Xbox
them on the
Series
cloud,
S?
yeah.
Play them on. Again, they did that last gen with the Xbox
With
One.
Xbox
And
One.
it'll be better
Right.
too. Like
Right,
the
that's what I'm saying.
yeah.
They're going to improve it because they're going after GeForce Now, right? They want to be
Yeah.
compatible with GeForce Now. Now they're going to make you pay for that experience, right? They're obviously going to have plans. They're going to obviously do that. But yeah, if you want to keep your Xbox Series X and S, cool, man. There'll be some games that come to them as well.
Mhm.
But like you said, the big stuff, yeah, we might have that leap where it doesn't work. It just doesn't make sense. But they're going to
Yeah.
tell you, hey, you still want to play a new AAA? Hey, it's even better. Go ahead, keep your S. All you got to do is play through the cloud streaming. Look at all of our improvements. Look at how good it's gotten. Hey, go have fun, man. Like, you just got to pay for it,
Mhm.
right?
And I think
I think that's what they'll probably
Xbox
do.
for first party itself also saw that when they tried to do that last generation, where they tried to keep games on last gen and next gen at launch, it hurt them. Like Halo Infinite, they basically said we can't do fucking co-op because we made this fucking game on Xbox One and we can't support that. Like,
Yeah, absolutely. And then to your guys' point about the AI tech too, that's just going to make that streaming experience that much better. Again, this is why when they chose to go down this road, this is what they're all in on it, right? Because if this all works, and again, that's a big if, like again, we're talking about stuff here that we got to wait to see. But if they get this to work, Mav, that if they can get the streaming down to a point where sure, you're going to notice it depending on your internet, depending on your Wi-Fi, but for the vast majority of people, it is a good to great experience overall. Like, not everything's going to be perfect every single day. And then you've got AI that's working behind the scenes to even things out, to make that compatibility even better, to make those games perform no matter what you're streaming to even better. Then the need to actually upgrade for a lot of people who think it's too expensive in that moment in time might just be better off sticking, and they're going to stick, and they're going to have a great experience, still be able to play those new AAA games, whatever box that they have, even if it's a TV, even if it's a cell phone. Like, that's kind of what Xbox wants to do.
Yeah.
Is take away that need. So anyway,
for a lot of casuals, I think cloud is okay. Like, they're not going to care, but like for me, like if I play a first person shooter on cloud, I'm going to notice the latency. I'm going to notice the lag and all that shit.
Correct.
So it's like,
Mhm.
correct.
Yeah, it's going to be
it
interesting
comes
to
down to,
watch
like-
that over the next decade to see how far that tech comes,
5 years, because quantum's coming even faster. Decade,
Mhm.
we're going to have
'Cause,
quantum
like,
computing. So
people nowadays, they can't fucking tell the difference between 1080p and 4K. Like casuals a lot of times can't. So like it comes down to like, I guess your expectations and what you want to play if you're like a hardcore gamer that's really into like
and
competitive
internet
stuff or-
connection mainly. For me, I think like that how solid your signal is in your house for Wi-Fi or your quality of your internet like is going to be a big determining factor, I think, with a lot of people. Like my experience will be 100% different than each one of y'all's, just because we each have different internet providers and different signal strengths
Live
wherever
in
we're
different
playing.
places.
Yeah, live in different places. Yeah, so like that's going to be the thing. But overall, like that technology just continuously keeps improving. So it's impossible to know what it'll be in 5 years to 10 years or whatever. And right now, like a lot of people hate it, but that could become one of the main ways that the younger generations start accessing their games because it's just there.
Matt,
you know,
Matt, people never believed we'd be streaming movies in 4K.
Yeah.
Okay. nobody ever believed, and I know it's different, and that's why it's
And they have like
taken
the
longer for games to
ultra
get there.
quality 4K now too, like
Right.
on a lot of these.
And yes, if you go buy a high end like 4K player and you buy the physical disc, is there a difference? Absolutely. If you've got the TV, absolutely.
But even not every person would be able to tell the difference between those two. Yeah.
That was my point. I was to Jasper's point. The vast majority of gamers would never know the difference, and we are starting to get that point from how people review GeForce Now. I have not experienced myself, but for people who are talking about GeForce Now, it's freaking incredible, and that's just going to continue to get better and better, and that's what Xbox wants. So I think that again, we go back, 15, 20 years, or less than that, to the 360 generation, right? And when we first started seeing movies pop up you would have gone back and asked anybody at that time, are we going to, are the vast majority of people just going to stream their movies in 4K one day? People would be like, you're freaking nuts. It's going to take forever for the tech to get to that point. Well, shit, we're now at that lifespan of this tech for games. That's why I think this next 5 years, yeah, I think the vast majority of people start streaming games if it's a viable solution and it's cheap. I think that people will.
I mean, Netflix started out as a mail service,
right.
so
right.
look at it now.
Exactly. Right. Their partnership with Xbox is what started turning them into a digital service.
Yeah.
Like that legitimately.
Yeah, like Berg says, it's actually better already. Try it out. I've been praising it for the last like year or so, or maybe year and a half, like because my experience like playing on my OLED tablet with a controller when I'm using especially the stream your own game feature or a game that's in Game Pass, like at one point it wasn't as good as console streaming, and then at some point it overtook console streaming quality, and then now it's like even better. It's like for some games it's hard for me to tell the difference, right? And some games it's more obvious to tell the difference, but that window is closing now. There's still a gap there, but it is shrinking, right? Let's get a couple super chats here. Web Dave hit us earlier with a $2 super chat. Shout out to Web Dave. Always awesome to see you here, bro. Says Pong, open invite to TTS on Gamers Council anytime. Yeah, but Web Dave is gonna miss hearing your voice, man. He's got to get you on that Gamer Council.
Choo choo, motherfucker. Choo choo.
No. Alvin.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna miss all of you.
Alvin, member for 3 years with the $5. Shout out to Alvin. Says, just want to point out that this level of uncompromising back compat is never reached and never expected in any Nintendo or PlayStation device.
Correct.
100%. Xbox is the only ones that have those expectations because Microsoft and Xbox has always held to a higher standard than any other platform for some reason, and including also what their profit margins need to be at, according to many out there. So
some of it's of their own doing. They've been more vocal and more promises made than the other.
Yeah, they're kind of like the Peter Molyneux and Todd Howard of the gaming companies, as far as like platforms where they say a lot of things publicly a lot of times, and then
they've tried to garner so much goodwill right because they needed to, right, because of some of the disasters that they've had, self-inflicted disasters that they had. So they tried to outdo the competition. So yeah, they made a lot of promises and a lot more, inroads, trying to get that goodwill and trying to say, hey, we're the good guys. We want you back. We want you to hear because we got this, we got that. A lot of what we're seeing right now is because of that momentum that Phil and his team started, early on when he took over Xbox One. Why we're here now with Xbox, there's a lot of that started to be built back then. For different reasons at the time, but now are being used to push Xbox in this direction. So, that's kind of the reason why Nintendo doesn't make any crazy promises to their fans. They just use and abuse their fans, and their fans say, give us more. Like, that's how it is. Same with Sony. Sony used to think about backwards compatibility, right? The OG PlayStation 3 played PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 games, right? I have one of the OGs. I got to get it fixed, but I have one of those fat boys that plays that. They thought about it for a time, but then they realized, they looked over at Nintendo and said, oh, you can just resell the games over and over again? Why the hell are we giving us why are we giving our players backwards compatibility? Who the hell cares? Nobody wants to play those old games anymore anyway, right, Jim?
Yeah. That's what their whole sub service is based on now. Ron G2665 with the $2 says, why buy next Xbox? Save that money for 6090. Well, that'll be quite a bit more maybe than an Xbox at the time. But however, if you want a 6090, get that 6090 and play Xbox games on it. If you want. Like, if you don't want to, buy Steam games, dude, I don't care. But
that's the decision, right? That's the decision people are going
to make. It'll be the competition of the storefronts. Is really what it's about.
Yeah, I mean, I think like I was a diehard Xbox fan. Like, I have Xbox merchandise all over the fucking place. But for me, like, it comes down to a point where it's like I got to make a decision where I want to put my money and play my games. And if I already have an option on PC or whatever, I can still play Xbox games on there. Like, maybe I'm not going to drop another $1,200 for something I can already play with what I have now.
Yeah.
Like it just comes down to people at the end of the day making their own decision where they want to play their games.
And for honestly, for the price of what the consoles are these days now, like you can go get a gaming laptop, a pretty good one, for like $700-800, and plug it up to your TV and get a decent experience. Like I have one in our
Like
in our bedroom, and I have just a gaming laptop hooked up to our bedroom, and I have a Series X hooked up there too. But like, we'll use the laptop to like do whatever, you know. So like, we can have the.
Well,
It's like over laughing at me, but like you can do way more with the laptop than you can at Xbox, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, we have that, and you can access my Steam games and all that stuff on there too. But in the future, I will just be able to have the Xbox device there if I want. I don't have to have different things. You know what I mean? So why are you laughing at me, babe? Anyway, so yeah, ultimately, options are good, and there's already those options right now. You know what I mean? Like people are acting like it's like this is the future. Well, what do you mean we don't need an Xbox? You don't need a fucking Xbox right now if you don't want to have to own one. You haven't had to since 2016. So like, but the messaging, they're just outwardly telling everybody that now because they're pushing more and trying to get their experience and people buying Xbox products and games on those other devices more, right? Because guess what? Being console only didn't really work out for Xbox. As much as they tried, unfortunately, it just never did. And maybe it's because of the way people talk about it, especially games media and everything all the damn time. You know, it's hard for them. Even when we have fucking Ninja Gaiden, Outer Worlds 2, fucking games like fucking Ball Pit or Supermarket Simulator just hitting Game Pass today. I think another game hit Game Pass today, Pacific Drive. You have all these fucking first party games that launch this year: Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4, Oblivion Remaster. You know, you have fucking Avowed hit this year, South of Midnight, Keeper, fucking Call of Duty Black Ops. All these are even in a subscription service you can pay for day and date. Nobody else is offering anywhere near that level of value and amount of output with quality games. But yet, people act like that shit doesn't matter. It doesn't exist. Xbox is dead. But I'm sitting here fucking playing these fucking games on my Xbox, on my PC. And like, I'm going to be traveling next week. I'll be able to access my games on my fucking phone.
Matt, touch grass.
Yeah, I need to touch grass, is what somebody said, because I only play games apparently because I have access to my games everywhere, right? And it's like, we're so focused on the idea of Xbox dying all the time that people aren't even paying attention to what's there right in fucking front of them. What they're accessing right now. What you're playing right fucking now. What's launching this week. Like, why is there so much fucking drama? It's like, if anybody makes a fucking post talking about, hey, it's awesome, these games launched this week. Oh, you fucking Xbox dumbass, you fucking suck dildos for Xbox.
I kind of think it's
like, that's what somebody said. Somebody said, like, I don't know, I'm just made an Xbox suite, and somebody had mentioned dildos. I don't know what the fuck is happening, man. Like, it's just weird the amount of hate you get if you mention that you're playing Xbox, or that you like Xbox, or that you're enjoying the ecosystem. It's like the only thing that's allowed is negativity in the social media space towards the brand.
I kind of think a lot of it is like people that have grown up with like the idea of what the console market was, and now that they see that it's changing in a direction that they may not understand or like or want, they're kind of putting up a defensive mechanism. Like they're like, oh, I don't like this, so I'm just going to start shitting on it. So they like kind of subconsciously start not liking it as much anymore.
Yeah, but like, what kind of person is that to go in like people's tweets like, oh, this person made a positive tweet about Xbox. Oh my God!
Welcome to social media.
I gotta post.
Welcome to social media.
It's so fucking weird. Who are these people? How do they exist? They're like the most miserable fucking people on earth, probably, and are using this as like an outlet for their rage and depression.
All I can think of is the meme first time. I mean, seriously. I mean, how long has it been going? It's been going on forever,
crazy.
man.
But it's like
This
it's
is
like
what
even
drives
further
social
right
media.
now than most.
But it's not. But you got. I think the thing, and we've talked about this so many times about the Xbox tax and about what people. I think I still believe to this day that a lot of it is actually hate from Microsoft as a corporation. That hate has never died off for decades. And a lot of the kids now that are adults, or in adulthood now, 20s and 30s, grew up when Microsoft was the big, bad, evil corporation. And they still are in a lot of ways, obviously. Again, they're definitely not saints by any stretch of imagination. But I think a lot of it is just the hate for Microsoft, that they were able to buy their way into the gaming industry, that they weren't the OGs, even though everybody forgets, of course, that Sony's was an electronics giant, and that's where they made all their money, and they got pissed off at Nintendo and bought their way into the industry. But nobody thinks about that because they're the Japanese company. They're the second Japanese company to Nintendo. They are OGs, even though Xbox was not very far behind PlayStation when they came out with the OG Xbox. It's just Microsoft. It's the big bad greedy Microsoft, and this whole Xbox dying thing. Honestly, again, it's used on both sides as a lot of BS. There's a lot of BS behind it. The definition of what you mean by dead changes daily, depending on who you are and what we're talking about, right? But I think in general, Mav, the general sentiment is, and Jasper and I were talking about this before the pre-show, before you got in and everything else. Microsoft could absolutely shutter the entirety of Xbox tomorrow without a second thought.
Yeah.
They've done it to other divisions. They don't care. And they could do it. And everybody could say, oh, they spent $70 billion. They don't care. You don't understand. Like, they legit, the shareholder, there's a large contingent of shareholders from day one, big shareholders, that believe that Xbox has been a detriment to Microsoft all along and that they shouldn't be in the gaming industry at all, like at all. And those people are still there. So I think that people look at that, Mav, and you look at Sony or you look at Nintendo, and you can't say that. Sony, like PlayStation, is like key to Sony's survival right now. And Nintendo, well, that's what they are, right, for the most part. So those two places can't do that. But big bad Microsoft, the corporation, could technically, if they're going down this road and they can't produce these results, which you've talked about, hinted at multiple times, this new discussion about the 30%. Profit that they have to show, which is well beyond the average in the industry, according to most people. Like, if they don't provide that, if Phil and his team, if Sarah and her team can't do that, at Microsoft, we could just wake up one morning, just like Sega, and go, Microsoft could be like, we're done.
Yeah.
And unlike Sega, not even continue producing games. They could shutter the whole entire thing and call it a day. And all that IP, Jasper and I were talking about this too as well. My fear is, all that IP would never be sold off. It would just be mothballed into the back room.
Stockpile it, yeah. They're like, they don't even care to
never be done.
I mean,
again.
they spent how many billions on Mixer? How many billions on Nokia? Already done it.
Yeah, they've already done it before. I think that's where a lot of it comes from. I'm not defending it because there is a lot of.
Do people realize the amount of negativity they put out there actually helps lead to the struggles of it as well? Because like
they've been that.
Right.
That's been the argument, man. That's been the argument for all the people who say, no, we don't want Xbox to go away. It's going to be bad. Bullshit. There is a large contingent. And again, because Sony,
but I'm even speaking to the Xbox community as well. Yeah. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, and I'm not talking about like, definitely criticism is fair for sure. Right.
Of course.
But this, anytime anything changes or any kind of new announcement or something, and it's like this like almost like overzealous outrage, and like when you have,
because it's easy,
other companies all doing a lot of the same things, but nobody pays attention.
Microsoft always responds, so they know that there's a slight chance they get attention.
Yeah,
because Microsoft is the company that's willing to come out and be like, "We're sorry, guys. We'll try to fix it," or whatever. It's like Microsoft feeds into the comments.
Well,
like,
and they also know they also know the clicks. Yeah. They also know you make a negative article about Nintendo and PlayStation, you're not going to get the clicks you make an article about Microsoft or Xbox. You're not going to get those same clicks. It's not the same feeding frenzy, like you said, Matt. It's not even
Yeah.
close because there's so many. Because even though we're a part of a small community, and again, we always forget that it feels like we're around a ton of people, but it's a small community
Yeah.
overall of the hobby. But the Nintendo fans and PlayStation fans are their audiences, their extreme fans are so much more just because they're two of the more popular brands, right? The two most popular brands compared to Xbox, they outweigh Xbox by a lot in terms of fandom. So therefore, if those two groups do dominate and control a lot of what the news cycle is going to be, because that's where the clicks are going to come from for these places that depended upon that for money. That's simple. So they go after the weakest link. They go after the redheaded stepchild, which is Xbox and Microsoft. They always been that way.
Yeah. It's just strange. It's like, I don't know.
I agree.
I think there's a sickness in social media in general.
Of course.
Yeah, 100%.
And like,
of course.
yeah, it's weird that like if you're enthusiastic about something you like, right? It draws the ire of people to the point where it's like, I have to sabotage this person's enjoyment and happiness because I don't like this thing. Like I have to piss in his Cheerios today. He's too fucking happy. He's too happy. I'm gonna whip it out and fucking piss in his fucking Cheerios so he has a bad day today. That's what it's like. I feel like the energy that they're trying to put out into the world and so many different people, and it's generally targeted towards Xbox. You don't see this level of anything in gaming towards the other brands whatsoever, right? It is just crazy to me. And how difficult is that to overcome for a brand? I mean, I couldn't imagine trying to run a company and have that many people fucking hate me. You know, to the point where somebody says something good about you, they're like, "No, you're a fucking idiot."
But Matt, that's why so many times we, right, as people have talked about Xbox and talked positively about Xbox, we've certainly had our criticisms too. We've been labeled as not true fans, whatever, it doesn't matter. But that's why we also smack our forehead every time Xbox does something dumb to themselves.
Yes,
that just
step on the brakes.
It's even a harder climb when you're doing it to yourself on top of what you just said, and what we all call the Xbox tax, which again, I think everybody on this panel here agrees there is some sort of Xbox tax. So it just makes it that much more difficult for yourself.
100%. Fuzzy, do you have anything else to add to that before? Because I want to get into the 30% thing here in a minute.
No, it feels like a lot of times some of the Xbox community will fall for the trap. It's like all of the FUD
100%,
that they make up as far as, because like you guys said, the bad actors want Xbox to fail. They'll tell you, out of one side of their mouth that, oh, they don't want them to go away and blah blah blah, but it's like that's their sole purpose. And I feel like a handful of them are in the gaming media, like
the Schreiers of the world, or maybe possibly just putting it out there.
I don't want to name names, but there's a good bit of them, and they point themselves out every so often when they make stupid comments about something Xbox, and it's like, wait a minute, aren't you the same ones that said not having games was like the worst thing possible, but now more was it less is more kind of deal? Like, come on, like. Now that Xbox has a game pretty much every month, and sometimes several games in a month, now quiet is kept on the other ones only having one a quarter or whatever, or one a year. So it's just funny to me. I don't know. I can't imagine what it would be like to try to run the social media or even the marketing campaign when you have pretty much everybody against you, even when they do stuff that we generally feel is right, or things that speak to the nature of gaming or anything entertaining in that space. And it's like somebody will point out something that, oh, well, they didn't show that, it came with the, batteries in it anymore. Or they didn't show that controller sold separately. It doesn't come with it's like no matter what they do, you can't win. And being a car enthusiast, I've seen this same idiotic behavior amongst American cars. Like, I know in the 80s, cars from America sucked because, an Oldsmobile, a Pontiac, a Chevy, and all of them were all the same car, just different badge on them. Maybe the headlights were a little different or the taillights were a little different. They didn't get the greatest on fuel economy because they were pretty much living rooms on wheels for the most part. But, even when the cars were being made better and we're getting the JD and Power Associates awards and stuff, people still crapped on them. So it's like, I don't know. But things come around. Toyota is having a really tough time making quality cars on their, I guess, SUVs and things because their engines aren't holding up like they used to. Like before, you could run a Tacoma across a small lake and not have to worry about the engine cracking. Now it's like you look at it hard and it falls apart, but that's a totally different story. But yeah, but now American companies don't make cars anymore, other than maybe the Mustang and the Vet, which great, but it sucks for people that want an American family car and don't want a truck or SUV sitting up a mile high kind of thing. But it is what it is. But overall, Xbox at this point, their best bet would be to ignore the constant hate or get somebody from the Wendy social media team to counter everybody. PlayStation better. Yeah, your mom's better or something. Just and not care about the fallout of it because they're going to do no matter what you say back to people. They're going to find a problem. You could say, "Hey, have a nice day." Well, it's not really a nice day. It's raining where I'm at. All right, well, drown.
Ooh, and I kind of think that the direction that they're going a little bit is to kind of ignore the community because they're just like, we're putting all our games wherever the fuck we want now. We don't care.
Yeah, that's like a couple of weeks ago we had a show that said the Xbox just said fuck it. It's like, hey, fuck it. We're just doing our own thing. I don't give a shit what anybody says anymore. And maybe ultimately that ends up being a good thing because like they have been one to turn on a dime at sometimes because of social media outrage and things like that and stuff. And like, if they have such a clear direction that is a massive transition for them as a company, it's better to stay focused on executing that properly other than listen to every outcry that people have over those changes because nobody knows how it's going to be yet until we actually experience it, right? So it's better to kind of make that choice once we actually get a taste other than let fear of change.
You got to let the chef finish cooking before you can taste it.
Yeah. It's like going into the kitchen and being like, man, that steak, that's ribeye. I don't know. Trust the fact that you know how to make that, even though it's like, hey, they got tons of satisfied customers out there. It's like you're that. I heard something about you that you may not be that. It's like, fucking try it, and if you don't like it, you don't like it. If you like it, you like it. Shout out to the chat again. We got a couple more super chats to get to. Shout out to Alvin, member again for 3 years. Said. He said with his member chat, fighting games and first-person shooter games are the only two that can't cloud. Yeah, I have probably the trouble with those two the most. Sports games surprisingly work fine for me, even online. But fighting games, if I was to, I could play a fighting game offline in the cloud, but like I would never try it online, right? Same thing with shooters. Like if you're playing a campaign, I think I could be okay and fine. But not online, right? We got Pioneer for $5 with the super chat says, am I wrong for experiencing great games on Xbox Game Pass? I'm so excited for the next-gen PC Xbox hybrid. Sarah and Phil will deliver. You're not wrong for being excited for anything that you're excited for. If you were excited for the Switch 2 or the PS6, whatever it ends up being, or if you're excited for fucking... I'm trying to think, what was that fucking cloud company that failed to come back? I don't know. Like whatever you're excited for with gaming, enjoy it. Like Pong always says, play what you love what you play. Right?
Right.
Don't go on other people's posts when they make a happy post about something or they're being enthusiastic and try and like piss all on their Cheerios. Right? Don't do that. Those people are annoying. Mac 22TH54 with the $5 says, the new one I love fuzzy is RXAX. Is a great at handheld, but a lousy Xbox. Seriously, what the fuck is that? Direct quote from the Nerd Nest. The ROG Xbox Ally X is a great handheld, but a lousy Xbox. Well, it's a fucking handheld. It's a PC handheld. So it is a PC handheld that's also accessible to your Xbox games on PC. So the thing is, like we talked about last week, if they call it an Xbox, they can call it a fucking Xbox if they want. It is what they call it.
Last week you said they could call it a banana. So
they could call it the ROG banana Ally X. And guess what? If they call it a banana, it's a fucking banana. Nothing we can fucking do about it. We don't
have to agree.
You don't have to like it, but the product is named after what the company's name it. Like, there's just no because Xbox is changing. So
the point is missed.
That
Mav.
will
it's
be
missed
Xbox.
on purpose. But that's what I'm saying. That's why the defense force too is just it's crazy to me that people all spend the time and energy to even defend, because it's so, again, people purposely are misinterpreting it, right? Purposely misinterpreting it. Like they don't understand the concept of, or they do understand the concept of what Xbox is doing right now, but they are purposely creating an argument around the fact that how dare they call this an Xbox when it's a PC handheld and it's by a third party. How dare they call? They just do it on purpose.
Yeah, but even with some of the other stuff too, I think there are a lot of people that are just so susceptible to any negativity that they just fall for it right away.
Sure.
Right. I'm seeing a lot of that today. I'm seeing a lot of it today, right? Where it's like negative article comes out and it's like, "Oh my God, my world is fucking destroyed. Like, how can this be? Like, this is going to ruin everything." And it's like, nothing has changed today as it did months ago, you know? And like, shout out to Adidas 20. Welcome to the speculators, bro. Choo choo, motherfuckers. Choo choo. $5 super chat again from Pioneer. Said, Ghost of Yote with reused assets. I imagine if Xbox did this 1 week of Xbox is dead. Yeah. Well, they would be saying that they're reusing assets and that they would be that they're making too many sequels. Easy to make sequels is what they would say.
I didn't bring it up, Mav, but Boom posted about it, but I had already read some of the reviews on Outer Worlds 2, and I'd read that review. Did you see that review where the dude actually knocked down Outer Worlds 2 because he couldn't help it, because Outer Worlds has always been anti-capitalistic game, which it is, right? It's all about that, and we got Microsoft firing people. We got the big bad Microsoft. So
that's who affected the score.
How can I enjoy this game when it's
that was in his review? Yeah.
You know, yes, I was like
that was like the Genquisition review for Starfield. Yes. Remember when he was like, "Hey, Bethesda hates trans people, so I'm gonna give this like," and it's like,
right?
What? That's what basically was in the review.
Yeah, correct.
Like, it's like, how are those accounted for on actual like aggregates? You know,
which game was it where the reviewer said? Which game was it where the reviewer said, I can't give this game the score I normally would because Xbox hasn't been putting out good games for a while.
Oh, I remember that one too.
Remember that one?
Yeah. And
it's been so long since they put out a good game. I can't give this.
So I have to retroactively detract the score from this one because of my displeasure with the Xbox brand.
Correct.
Isn't that the definition of Xbox tax?
Yes. Yeah. All these are the definitions.
Pretty much. You know?
Yes.
Like
it gets applied to no one else. It gets applied nowhere else.
Yeah. Let me apply a tax for the past year of disappointment that I've had with your products just to like lower this score so that way it can also be thought of as shit. Even though I really enjoyed this one.
Because one of your devs make an anti-capitalistic game, but you're a capitalistic company. I can't give this a fair. I can't say that. I can't.
How are you just not immediately fired from your job for like not writing about the thing you're supposed to be writing about?
Correct.
Yeah.
Because it draws engagement. It was Metro that wrote that one. The chat says. Oh, and I remember. Yep. Yeah, if you're excited for the Ouya 2, hey, be excited for the Ouya 2. I remember the fucking name of that device now. Well, you know, we did have an article like the Jason Schreier came out today on a little bit before I think the meta or the embargo dropped for Outer Worlds 2 reviews, which is arguably Xbox's, besides Call of Duty, biggest game this year. Schreier decided to say it was a good day right before that to drop an article talking about Amy Hood dictating a 30% profit margin target at Xbox. And that is the reason we've had so much changing at Xbox, all the layoffs, all the stuff happening, game cancellations, and all these other kind of things, right? Which for me was like, okay, that's interesting, but also it's not really new news because like we've already all talked about the fact that the money guys have been more in charge at Xbox ever since this.
We had people arguing with us about that too, though, man. So
yes, we did. Yeah, and when they made those layoffs and when they had the cancellations, when all this is exactly the stuff we said. The money guys are in charge now. Like the money guys are the ones making more of the decisions and all this other kind of stuff, right? I think more people are just kind of focusing on the 30% target thing as like the big news with this, and they're calling it unreasonable and all these other kind of things, right? Which you can have your opinion on that. It's fair or not. It is above average according to most on what publishers and platform holders make. I did some research. I found that Nintendo has made over 30% in numerous years in the past, so it's not unheard of for platform holders. I didn't ever hear anybody out crying that Nintendo's profit margin
device
was
costs
too
15
high.
cents to make and you sell it for $400.
Right.
I mean,
different directions 100%. You know what I mean? But we can also say that Nintendo's fucking stuck in the 90s, and that maybe if their profit margin wasn't as low, wasn't as high, maybe they could get things caught up a little bit with today's standards with gaming. But that's just, who knows, maybe a personal taste or take thing. Other than that, though, like there has been a lot of outcry and people are screaming that I saw Paul Tassi say Xbox won't be here in 5 years. I saw lots of other people saying that this is disastrous and Microsoft's gonna kill Xbox and all these other kind of things because of this article. Now I guess because I might get a little ranty with this one. So before we get to that, I should probably get y'all's take on it a little bit because I want to hear maybe I'm overreacting a little bit on my take. I'm not sure. But Fuzzy, when you saw this, what's your initial impression on that article and the 30%? I mean, several people were very upset about this.
I've said this before. Back in the day, at Best Buy, what was it, in the 2000s when my wife worked there, Sony was 50%. 50. So didn't hear anybody complain other than that the PS3 was a bit overpriced. Remember then, they were 50%. Because you could go to anything that was Sony, including the PlayStation, and the employee price was half of what the retail was. So I don't know why it's a concern. And like you said, Nintendo was found to be at 30%.
Yeah, the fiscal year 25, which I think is like 20, or fiscal year 2024, which I think is mainly 2023 and stuff. They were at 33% is what their profit margin ended up being after everything was calculated.
Well, here's the thing that I've hated the past 20 years when it comes to pricing on electronics, with things being assembled overseas. It's been a race to the bottom on the margins. Like, there was a time where 30% was the norm. 35% was actually the industry standard. Whether it's a TV, a stereo, a Walkman, whatever. And right around when Samsung was becoming big as far as TVs, that 30% dropped. And it was like 20%. Or first it was like 25, 24% or something like that. Then it was 20%. Then it was like 19, then 18, 16, 15, 11. I think it's now on a lot of electronics. The floating percent is 11. ish for things like TVs and other stereos and stuff because you have to be price competitive. People have become accustomed to paying 200 or 300 for a TV that used to be a few years ago $1,000. So you're not going to make the margins you once did. And given with this economy being what it is today, if things were properly in line with the way pricing was, let's say 80s, 90s, then you would see a bit more margin on some of these products. But when you make that decision to do 30%, it doesn't have to be a flat 30% across the board. Smart way to do it would be to make your controllers somewhere around 60%. Your games, keep them around 30% or so, because you're going to have sales on some when the sales stuff starts to slow down. And if I'm not mistaken, games are usually around the 30% margin or more until you take into consideration sales that they have for the holidays and stuff like that. When it comes to their cash cards and stuff like that, I'm pretty sure they're floating somewhere around 18 to 20% margin, if not better. So that price bump on some of the services, seeing that same price bump on the cards makes sense. For the longest time, they were floating low margins on Game Pass pricing, so it is what it is. But in general, their best bet, up the pricing on controllers, lower the pricing on other hardware. Go with the slimmer margins on the boxes and make more of the margins like you've been doing with the controllers, which I don't even want to think about what the margins are on those. They're probably above the 50% mark anyway, especially the ones that are the design lab. That would make more sense to me. Everything else, I guess it kind of depends. But if we're going to worry about the margins of what they're doing, then I would really like to see what the margin, supposedly with the profit that they made on the PS5 and the fact that they keep on taking like radiator stuff out in each iteration. They've gone back to the smaller hard drive. I'd like to see what their margins that they're floating on those. And if it's anything like more recently, like what I found from 2016 on, I'm pretty sure they're getting close, if not slightly above the 20% mark on the PS5. So that would explain how they've recouped their sales at 80 million shipped units and what 77 million, I guess, full sold. But it doesn't bother me. It just means wait for a sale. If pricing is not to your liking, wait until the holidays. That 30% usually drops down to somewhere around 15%. Stores are willing to take a little bit of a loss. The manufacturers will give a kickback to the stores to take that loss as well as take a little bit of a loss on their end. So we'll see how it balances out, but yeah. I don't really foresee it being a problem. The problem that I have in general is that some of the money man or money men or money team decisions seem to be the bigger issue as far as timing. They don't seem to be aware of what other parts of the company are doing. It's like, oh, we're going to partner release device. Yeah, let's raise the pricing just before that as opposed to just after that. Get people in the door, then you raise the price. You don't raise the price before you put a product out that you're trying to sell, even if it is partner, because you have R&D time and money tied up in it. But I've rambled enough. Time for you guys to go.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's interesting to there's lots of factors in this. I got a lot to say on this one specifically, but yeah, Jasper, what 30% was the big news today. How do you see that as, is anything changed for you based on that report or?
Nothing personally, I don't think changes for me yet. I do see some good and some bad coming out of this. Good, hopefully we see a lot of these game companies now realize that, oh, we have a bunch of fake made up job positions that don't matter, that we're just here to like pay you fucking money and eat our food, so we waste money. And maybe this gets the game studios back to be like, no, you're gonna work 9 to 5, 5 days a week. You're not coming in 3 days a week and fucking off for the other two. You're gonna actually work, you're gonna make your game, and we're going to get it out. You may have to stay overnight. Like if you get back to a culture that is passionate about making a game that they want to make, and instead of just hanging out with friends, maybe we get better games at the end of the day. I don't know. That's possibly the good that I could see coming out of it. I mean, the bad, you might have price increases, you might see $70, $80 games again. But we can't fight that. That's what the world's coming to. So that's what it is.
Yeah. A lot of factors but it's hard to say exactly what a target like that affects. You know what I mean? For sure. Pong, about you, sir?
Well, I kind of touched on already, but I think that I can look at this in a cynical manner, in a cynical way, and say that Amy Hood is setting up Xbox for failure on purpose, for sure, and trying her best to, play the game to the point where she puts so much pressure on them that, there is drastic measures taken, which I think we've started to see. And this is why I've said all along that
this is more rounds coming too, of this.
Right, sure. Right. There's going to be more cuts. There's going to be more that kind of stuff going on. And I think that they're going to take less. Let's put it this way. I think Amy Hood is trying her best to make Xbox as small as possible and as profitable as possible, or they shutter them because they can't make goals. Okay. And I do think that that's a real possibility. And I said that before. And that's why, I touched on that tomorrow we could wake up and Microsoft could just close them and that could be the end of it. So I do think there is a bit of that because the money people especially don't care, and Amy Hood don't give a fuck. And so I do think there's a part of that. To Jasper's point, I do think that it is possible that they do come out of this in a better spot, but it's not going to be pretty. Like there's no easy. Why I say we're already starting to see it is, yes, some of the cuts, Mav, but also them not subsidizing the ROG Ally and the ROG Ally X, which we talked about. That's why I said all along, they're done losing money on hardware. We're not going to see cheap hardware anymore. We're not going to see them cutting the cost back. I know there was word that they were trying to do something. Well, why do you think, even if that's real, and I don't necessarily think that was real, even if they were having talks with Asus about possibly subsidizing or possibly coming up with a way to make it cheaper, why do you think ultimately in the end it didn't wind up being cheaper and it actually wound up coming out a little bit more expensive than even some people thought it was going to? Well, this is your reason. And I overall, again, yes, of course, Schreier and a lot of these journalists have it out for Microsoft and Xbox because, again, it's Microsoft Corp. They hate Microsoft Corp. We have a lot of socialists and a lot of communists in journalism as well who hate capitalism and want to see it dead overall, especially in America. So therefore, they go after one of the biggest companies or the biggest company in America. Well, that's Microsoft Corp. So we get a lot of that BS too here. But the fact is that this is interesting information because it does start to fill in some of the blanks as to how far this possibly could have gone. So when I hear the 30%, I go, okay, well, that's why they're not doing a lot of the stuff that we thought they would. I think that ultimately what's going to happen is they're going to stop taking risks on games. They're not going to let their studios make those smaller passion projects anymore that we talked about originally being such a big part of the diversity and the big plan that Microsoft had when acquiring a lot of these smaller studios, right? I don't think you're going to see that anymore. I think you're going to see them focus on the money makers. I think that if games come out from a dev, it doesn't matter how big the dev is. Jasper and I we're talking about, sorry, Jasper, I keep using our conversation behind the scenes, but Jasper and I were talking about this. If the new Halo reboot, whatever they're going to do, doesn't work, do I put it past them just mothballing Halo forever and saying Dunzo and closing up, Halo Studios? Yeah. I think they could. I don't put it past them to do that. I think those cutthroat moves that we see out of your EAs, out of your Ubisofts, out of your big publishers start to happen more frequently at Microsoft and Xbox because of this demand for this very big percentage, unless they start knocking it out of the park. And all of a sudden they can do enough to turn the financials into such profitability where Amy Hood and the shareholders and can sit back and go, okay, all right, you guys proved us wrong. Okay, go ahead, keep doing your thing, right? But I think it's going to take a lot to get to that point, and it's not going to be pretty. So ultimately, could it wind up being good? Sure, you could see a much more focused, a much more efficient Xbox overall. You could definitely see something where, to Jasper's point, they cut out a lot of the waste and the nonsense that they don't need, and you just get lean and mean like the old days, which we've talked about for the whole entire industry is going to wind up happening here. I think, again, we're not even close to being done with the cuts or cleaning house in this industry. I think that we could get back to those days where everybody focused on games and didn't worry about the nonsense outside of games and really had to buckle down. And if you weren't on board with doing that, then you were showing the door instantaneously. And I think that that could be a good thing overall, but it could get pretty ugly with this. So again, do I think Schreier had a specific reason? Yes, he always has a specific reason. Does he go after Xbox more than other? Of course he does. There's a reason behind that. This is all nonsense. It's all BS. It's all political. It's all emotional driven for a lot of these people. But at the same time, I think that, hearing this, Mav, kind of solidifies what we've been talking about all along. I think it does.
For me, it's one of the strangest news report articles I think I've actually seen targeted towards like a gaming company. We've had massive changes and layoffs and game cancellations at almost every major platform holder and publisher in the gaming industry over the last couple years. Ever since after the swell that happened right after COVID and things exploded with gaming and everybody's recording mass record profits that they've ever had, and they just keep investing into gaming. And then it's like, oh shit, all right, things have settled down. We need to streamline, get back down to normal operating functions and all that kind of stuff. You see that. Growth is still important in any industry, especially in a publicly traded company, and especially one that is beholden to shareholders and all those other kind of things. So when I see something like this, I'm like, oh, a money person at a major corp has high expectations of one of the major divisions of their brand. That's not really that shocking to me. Now, is the pressure too much? Is it too much to ask for? Time will eventually tell on that. I will say that generally when a target is put on a company like that, like if I have a projection profit that I need to be at on a job, right, or whatever, and I have to meet that, then it's like, okay, how do I meet that criteria, right? Because the cost is what it is. Either this many people are involved with making a product, or the cost of making that product is a certain amount. They have this much invested. This is the expected returns on that. Now, if the expected returns on it aren't enough to meet what the request is for us as a target for Big Daddy Microsoft or whatever, then I have to figure out how to streamline that process or get the cost down in order to make that target, right? Now, will I actually get that target? Time will tell. But you're going to try to, because that's what is dictated from you by your bosses. That's the people making the decisions, right? And that's the same in every fucking industry and corp. Like, that doesn't change with anything. This is not like, where were the profit margin demands reported at ever in the history of any fucking gaming company? I've never seen a report ever for any gaming company talking about how much they expect that company to make with profit margin. Once, ever. Can anybody ever think of one where they look at an article talking about how much a company is expected to make with the profit margin in gaming?
I was going to say that we're seeing nowadays, especially this year and kind of last year, we're seeing a lot of these smaller indie games that cost like $5 to make, and they come out on Steam and they sell 10 million copies or whatever. I think a lot of the money people are seeing that and being like, he built it in a cave with the parts and a box of scraps.
Yes, 100%.
And we have the fucking... So I think Microsoft is like, why the fuck can't we just build shit with scraps?
Well, to your point, Jasper, I think there is a lot of bloat there that they are aware of as well. Like, you shouldn't need 5,000 people to make a fucking video game. When a team of 200 or less can make something like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, right? Or tons of other games out there that
Not
are
even
launching
that,
every
just
year.
like
You know?
fucking like Megabunk came out. It's $10 on Steam, made by one dude, and it's like the biggest indie game there is this year.
Yeah, there's tons of examples like that, but like you're catching lightning in a bottle sometimes with those games, and sometimes like they want to try and get those games to be popular too, but like overall, like on the big budget games and all that kind of stuff, right? Like, do we see them take less risk? Maybe, right? But do we see them cancel smaller projects? Maybe. We'll have to wait and see. But overall, like basically Phil Spencer has this target that he's trying to hit. It's 30%. And he's trying to weigh everything and figure out, how do we get there? So far, we've seen some of that stuff. But my point is, it's no different than any other fucking publisher that's been doing the same damn thing this past couple of years. Like every other major publisher, including other platform holders, have also done the same thing, trying to maximize profits. That's normal for big corporations. Do you actually reach your target goal? It's to be determined. But it's so fucking weird to be making an article about this specifically. Where is the article about the other companies that have been making the cuts and the same kind of cuts and what their target and why they're doing it to reach projections that might be unrealistic for them as well? Who knows what the actual targets are for those companies, because it hasn't been fucking reported on.
Mav, let me ask you a question though. Which other company has changed their business models completely as Xbox has?
Well, I would say none, but I would also argue that a lot of it has been at a benefit for me as a consumer.
But but you're asking why the article is being written. The spotlight is there because of all their massive purchases, including an Activision Blizzard deal, which went to court, and they had a fight for over a year, almost 2 years long fight over it, and then they completely changed their entire business model.
But that also leads to me like the less necessity of a fucking article like this, because we already know that these things have been happening. Like these things have been happening the last couple of years for every company, including Microsoft.
But to our point, Matt, the point that we've been making, the change in power structure within Xbox and within Microsoft is visible. Like we saw it, we talked about it, right? That's not the same as other places. Right, that's not that change is not.
It's happening at PlayStation,
but not as dramatic. Not as dramatic as
I don't know when Hiroki Totoki took charge over there. There was a lot of quick, fast changes.
Did not make a $70 billion purchase, man.
No, they didn't.
I would say the only company that's made like a drastic change that's come back now is Square, where they were selling off studios to invest in crypto.
Right.
Yeah, but now they like they also decided to go multi-plat as well instead of doing exclusivity deals.
I'm just giving you a reason for your initial question as to why it hasn't been written about anywhere else. On top of course, what I talked about, Schreier does have political and personal reasons to write about Microsoft and Xbox, and he's been pretty. If you read, he's pretty open about his hate for a lot of the way that they do business there and other companies that he's gone after personally because of the way they do business. But I'm just saying, you throw that on top of the massive transformation of a billion-dollar company within a trillion-dollar company that just spent over $100 billion combined at the beginning of this generation to supposedly compete, and they're all saying the same lines, and then all of a sudden within a matter of months we're going third party. Yeah. Like, and obviously the money people are in control, which we talked about, right? So I'm just throwing that out there for the reasons why.
No,
it's a little bit different.
I understand.
They also did the. Remember, they also did the report on Satya's bonus structure, being centered around Game Pass. It's like,
correct.
They've always had eyes on him, but like you said, Schreier has a personal grudge for whatever reason. Maybe I don't know. What's his name? Eating his Cheerios or something. I honestly don't know, but Bill Gates has been away as CEO for, was it 3 decades now at this point?
Yeah.
They're always going to pick on Xbox, and if it's something that they can look at the financials, like nobody's even bothering with the financials. Like even when Capcom was on the brink of collapse, Did we have these articles about Capcom's profit margins or anything like that? Was there articles about Sega when they did it? It just seems like, granted, like you said, Pong, they haven't really changed. Those companies didn't really change their business model per se, but there were some definite uprootings and flipping a desk and some major changes. But yeah, Xbox always, or Microsoft always has a target on their back.
It's interesting because like the thing everybody's focusing on right now is like the ask is too high and what's it gonna do to Xbox, right? But like we've already seen that, like, this has been something that's already existed. That this is something that's not like Amy Hood today all of a sudden said, "Hey, you better fucking raise your profit margins to 30% or else." Like, this is something that's been going on there, and this is something that we've seen the transition and the changes happening, and they're trying to achieve whatever kind of maximum profit they get, but that's target. Right? And now if they don't hit the target, then they'll assess and figure out what they need to do to meet that, or maybe they ended up trying to lower their expectations a little bit depending on what the market dictates and everything like that as well. So like there's a lot at stake, and it's not just one answer, but you have your operating costs, what it costs for you to make all your games and put out your games and send all your games back, and then how much you bring in. They want that to be as high as possible. That's no different than any other fucking corporation that's out there. And it's just strange for me to like put the target on the back of them when we're also, and it's causing this mass outrage right now. Everybody's like majorly overreacting to this thing, in my opinion. Everybody's seeing this and being like, this means the death of Xbox again. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening? We have today where the Outer Worlds 2 reviews just came out. We just had Ninja Gaiden 4 come out. We are also having random games hit Game Pass constantly. We have tons of other first-party games that launched this year. We have new next-generation hardware that's coming. We have an actual subscription service that gives us all these games day and date. Granted, I didn't like the price increase, and that's probably plays into that. One of the things that they're doing to achieve that margin, but that was something we already had all anticipated coming as well. So you add.
I think people are overreacting with this because at the end of the day, people are still going to buy their games or whatever. Like,
yeah, like the games still. No one talks about the games exist, Jasper. Like we have these games coming out. Like if the end result is what does this do to us as a consumer, and how does this affect us? Because that's what we should be concerned about, right? We should be concerned about how does this affect me, not Big Daddy Microsoft. Beforehand, it was always like, oh, Microsoft or Xbox isn't profitable enough. They're not sustainable enough. How can they even sustain having Game Pass? Now they're asking for too much profit. They want to make too much margin. It's just ridiculous how much money they're going to be making off of it. This is going to kill Xbox. They can't do that either. Well, how about they have a target and somewhere in the middle it actually kind of meets and they end up being kind of in a happy place? We'll see. Maybe there is no happy place. Maybe they just keep asking more and more and they keep making more changes. And like Pong said, the more cynical actual outlook is they end up actually getting rid of everything because they can't meet their targets. I don't think that's going to happen because gaming has always been a part of Microsoft, even before Xbox existed. And I think will continue to be because it's their actual consumer-focused enthusiast brand that people can get excited about, and another way of selling products to target to people to get their name out there. All these other kind of things that isn't Excel, it isn't Word, you know what I mean? It isn't AI, it isn't Azure or whatever or any of this other shit. This is actually like a forward-facing brand that people can actually interact with and kind of have this community focused around the product and enthusiasm about it. And they're making tons of money trying to get into as many many devices as possible right now. And that's going to continue to happen. And it's like an article like this comes out. It's like, hey, they're asking for 30% for a profit margin. This is why everything's been happening. And I'm like, guys, we just fucking had so many fucking games come out this year. So many fucking games. At me as a consumer, that should be what I'm judging everything based on, not what the profit margin demands are from the actual fucking CFO of the company. Like, I don't give a fuck what their actual profit margin demands are on their actual brand. I care about what I'm fucking actually getting and experiencing. And I have a Series X right now that Kate's playing sitting there on the TV. It fucking still works. All these games that just launched on that device. And guess what? It will continue working for a very long time, as well as my other consoles in my house, as well as if I want to, I can play the games on my PC via Play Anywhere, which is the only company offering anything like that. As well as I can play on mobile, or I can play on a handheld PC device that just launched, that they're also the only ones offering that kind of device that's cross-functional with a console library with Play Anywhere. And that's going to continue to improve. And instead of focusing on all these changes and how it affects us as consumers, and for me, mostly in a very positive way, the focus is on, hey, they're asking for 30%. It's too much. What's going to happen to my brand? What's going to happen to Xbox? What's going to happen to Xbox? Well, just fucking focus on what we have. And if you're happy, keep purchasing what you want. Like, then nothing, like, this whole thing doesn't matter. Could it lead to bad things? If they close Double Fine because Keeper doesn't sell 5 million units or whatever bullshit, yeah, I will have a negative thing to say about that, because then that's crazy. Just like I did with Tango Gameworks and all these other kind of things. But that hasn't fucking happened yet. You know, like, that Compulsion Games is not closed yet after South of Midnight launch. Like, if those things happen, yes, I will speak to it, because I don't want to lose the culture of that company's games that they make. But I'm not going to outcry about a profit margin ask for a CFO of a corporation. Like, that's just, I don't know.
I mean, I think it kind of depends on each game studio is going to be different. Like, I'm sure Bethesda's probably closer to that 30% than like another Xbox studio is. So I think it depends on how these game studios want to try to achieve this 30%. Like, I'm sure some are going to be like, well, we might hold off like this in-game content and charge you for it $30 for whatever the skins are or whatever. I kind of hope that game studios take more of the Battlefield 6 approach, where they're like, we're going to listen to what the community wants. They don't want the stupid bullshit, and they see that, oh, when we actually listen to what people want to play, our game sells more. But there's going to be those studios that, again, don't listen to that and be like, let's just hold content back, or put fucking Kim Kardashian as the fucking playable character. It's like, no one wants that. So it kind of depends on the game studio at the end of the day and how they want to try to achieve that. And some are going to be smart about it, and some are going to be stupid about that.
Yeah. Why is every other platform holder and publisher doing layoffs? You know? Like, it's the same fucking reason. Trying to maximize profits. It's all greed. It's all fucking greed. All of it. Like, how much does this ultimately change? It's something new. I see Jose in the, or is it Joe's AMA in the chat says, how do you know we'll continue to improve? This says the opposite. This doesn't tell me anything. Like, all I see is the stuff that they've announced and the stuff that they're doing, and that's been improving. So for me as a consumer, I'm like just seeing what's actually in front of me, not what's in an article written by somebody that openly hates Microsoft about a profit margin target.
But you also saw Game Pass just increase dramatically.
Yes, I saw that, and we talked
as a
about
consumer.
it. Yes.
No, I'm saying,
but that's also something we talked about for years that was going to happen.
But not in the way it did. But this now
it was accelerated for
puzzle. Sure. Right, it adds a piece of the puzzle, right? That's what I'm saying, man.
But we talked
value in knowing this.
We already knew this, though.
But having an actual fact, people always say we don't know anything that's going on.
But
we're not there.
The thing is, when this article drops, like, people think this happened today. Like, this is not people are reacting but people are reacting like this is a thing that is going to be the determining factor of everything that happens with the Xbox going forward. But it's been the determining factor of what's led to a lot of the changes we've already seen. Now, how have those affected us or not?
Different. But having an actual physical number,
I don't know, because it's a target.
But that's why I brought up being cynical, Mav. You could be cynical, and there's a lot of people out here that are cynical. That look at that as a confirmation, because we have a hard number put to the paper, right? Now we have a hard number, and people have already come out and confirmed that number, and we're assuming that it's real from Schreier, is above the standards of the industry. So being a cynical person, if you want to look at it through that lens, and again, ma'am, I know you're trying not to be the cynical person and you're looking at it from the other side, which again,
I'm just looking
totally
at what my
understand, obviously.
experience is
But-
when of the
right,
product,
right,
right?
but I'm just
Not
saying that
what
you
the
could look-
articles say.
Right, but what I'm saying is you could look at that and say, oh shit, the waters are rougher than we thought. Because it sounds like Amy Hood's got it out for the division. Right? Because again, you don't take a division and say, we need you to not do what the average industry is doing. We need you to go up and beyond that. Even though they've been telling us we're profitable, even though they've been saying Game Pass is profitable, even though they've been saying all this stuff, you could see the waterfall effect or the downhill tumble that could have, right, if they can't pull it off, right? More studio
100%,
more layoffs, more.
yeah.
So I'm just saying people want
But
to
that's
run
all
with that stuff.
with the
and that's when it comes up.
corporation stuff. That stuff's always fluid and
Yes.
always just changing.
I
You know what I mean? Like that stuff.
I understand.
That stuff changes all the fucking time. And yeah, like it's like somebody in the chat said, like this is something they've been operating under the last 2 years, right? Like this is. Yes, it did lead to a lot of the changes we have, but it doesn't necessarily mean that what their plans that they're making have been under this idea.
But we may also haven't seen the final end goal, like because these games take 5 years to make. So, like Halo, for example, they're going to announce that it may come out next year, may come out the year after. But if that doesn't succeed, and be like, we told you have to make 30% on this, you made 15% profit. Sorry,
But
you're out
that's
of fucking business.
that's the same with every corporation.
Yeah,
if the
but
money,
Xbox,
if the brands and if you have a parent daddy company, and the products aren't producing well enough, they're always in danger or subject to change. Like, so there's no difference here than if like Concord coming out was a fucking disaster for PlayStation, right? And it led to massive changes at PlayStation, massive changes.
And those were written about. Those were written about.
Yes, but they didn't write about what the target profit margin was at fucking Sony.
Because they didn't get the information because they're more locked, they're more sealed up. These
Right.
other companies are more sealed than Xbox. Xbox has always been a leaky ship. Oh,
So my point is that does it
Yeah.
like the things that have been in place that we've seen the last couple of years have been with this in mind. So, but when the people see the article, when people see the article today, it's like, oh my God, we're doomed. Right? But if we actually look at like everything they've been doing and what
already.
Well, everybody's always been saying that about Xbox. But if we
That's
actually,
what I'm saying,
but if
so-
we look at that of what they've announced and what we expect, like the next gen console hybrid thing that they've announced, like the Xbox Play Anywhere, they're doubling down on that, trying to get more games into that. They're doing the emulation for the back compatibility on those next gen devices.
Right.
Like, we're still having a great output of games. Does that decline? We'll have to wait and see. You know, if it does, then yeah, we'll have something to say about it. But this doesn't necessarily 100% mean that right now.
Well, it already kind of did though, because we lost Perfect Dark and shit like that, right? Which,
yes.
Again, if you're saying this, they've been under this for 2 years, that now.
We've also had games started in productions in that time too. Like, so like it's.
But you know what I'm saying, man. Like it
Right.
just it is just a concrete piece of the puzzle when people see it. So yes.
But if you
just-
equate game cancellations to that, right?
Yeah.
Then that's the same for every other publisher, which is also my point.
But not every publisher is like Xbox underneath $1 trillion company who just spent $100 billion to compete.
Right.
flipped.
I get that.
Okay,
But we're also,
okay,
we're also
so that
but that's
microscope
also
is
the
different.
reason why we but that's also the reason why we have more output than in any other platform right now as well.
Oh no.
For games.
Obviously, again, that doesn't
So it's like-
change the output. And I get what you're saying. I'm just saying why again, there's an Xbox tax, there's a Microsoft hate, there is personal reasons involved why certain people write about Microsoft and Xbox. Absolutely. But you add to that to the massive amount of changes that from the start of this generation, none of us could have predicted. None of us could have predicted that Xbox was going to do this. Like none of us, midway through the gen or 3/4 way through the gen, however you want to look at it, decide to go ahead and do this. There is an extra microscope to every single news piece that comes out about Microsoft and Xbox and how they're doing business. There just is going to be naturally. And plus you've got all the other shit that's happening or that is already a part of it. you're gonna have this type of scrutiny, Matt. You're just gonna have extra scrutiny.
And people
That's
act
all
like
I'm
this is unobtainable. Who knows if it's unobtainable? Like
I don't
Nintendo
think
has
it's
obtained it
unobtainable.
as well. Like so, like can they do it? Like I don't know. Like, but we'll have to
Well,
wait
yeah.
and see.
They can get lean and mean.
I'm
Game
more
Shark.
curious to see.
Yeah, go ahead, Fuzzy.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go.
No,
I was going to say I'm more curious to see the books or things behind the scenes as far as PlayStation with Bungie collapsing, Marathon in jeopardy, and a lot of their games as a service cancellations, where they stand.
It's not good.
As far as some of those studios, like, all right, so Jade Raymond left. What's happening with what was it, Haven? Is that studio just going to be a support studio now, or are they actually going to release fair games? Like it seems like
even from
nobody wants to ask these questions over there.
Even from the Insomniac leaks, you saw how PlayStation was trying to change to maximize their profit. They were going to break Spider-Man 3 into fucking 4 different games or whatever the hell it was, just to try to, yeah.
Well, no, it's again, there's no denying that there certainly could be more articles. Again, you have one of the top dev studios in the entire world, according to most people, including the journalists, in Naughty Dog, who's probably not going to put out a game this generation. Like, how is that even a thing?
They put out like 7 remakes, but yeah.
No, right. I get that. I get that. That's what everybody plays it off as.
Yeah.
Oh no, they put out game. Okay, come on, really? Really? I mean, again, how can you sit there and okay that? Okay, really? I mean, again, so I do agree there could be articles written elsewhere for sure, of course. It's just, yeah, Xbox is always going to get it a little bit more. So whatever.
I think a lot of this also comes down to the thing that we've been talking about for a while is all these big AAA games are costing $500-700 million to make, and they got to figure out why and how to make money off of it now.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, like, I don't think it's unreasonable for corporations to have profit margin targets. And sometimes they may be a little bit higher than we think should be, but that's also like it's kind of commonplace in the industry. Like it is. Like in any corpo, like they set these crazy targets, man. They do. $5 super chat also from Game Shark. Like he says, this is where I was.
I miss the Game Shark, by the way. I miss the Game Shark.
Me too. Thank you, Game Shark. Because I work at corp level. It's normal for heads to ask for unachievable goals. If 15 to 20 is more realistic, you might get 22 by demanding 30. Nothing burger. That's a very common thing. Like, you put that pressure on and try to squeeze them to try and get the most out of it. Like, that's... I don't know. Like, if
that obviously wasn't happening previously. That obviously was not happening at the beginning of the generation. That was not happening during COVID. They had the open checkbook. It was completely not like that.
Yeah, but they were spending, maybe hoping to achieve a better level of success in the gaming industry as well. Which now they might be streamlining, trying to maximize the potential of that.
Well, they had such a high during COVID, and now they're trying to reach that again by any
Correct.
means necessary.
But there's added extra to it because of who Microsoft is and the shareholders and all of that. Again, to Mav's point, sure, you can look at this and say, well, yeah, this is normal, especially for $1 trillion company. Of course, they're going to put pressure on their billion. I'm just saying that this is completely different from where we were. And again, they were given the open checkbook to spend, but not only open checkbook to spend, Mav, they weren't looking at profit margins like they are now. Otherwise, the small games that we saw made, like Pentiment, never would have been greenlit. Never. Yeah. That is a throwaway money game. That is not something you do if you're under the pressure of a 30. And again, I like Pentiment, but I'm just telling you that if you're running a corporation underneath like the typical Microsoft structure, which is now happening, that would never have been greenlit. And shit like that never would have happened.
I mean, maybe and maybe not, because like those places have a lot less cost to make as well, right? So what is your market? What is your end goal, right? What is your margin
Sawyer
on
could have
it?
been used on a nice big game map that would have brought in more
Possibly, but they
Juice.
had one of those with fucking the ZeniMax Online game. Like, if that's all they were focused on, then why cancel that fucking game? Like, it's not just the small indie games that are under fire; it's also the big ones, right? Like,
Right.
so
Now-
anything can happen. Anything can happen at
And-
any of these fucking companies with these cancellations and stuff. And I would argue,
Sure.
and I'll criticize them heavily for that, because I would argue one of my biggest things with waste and loss of profit in these companies is these fucking canceled projects and the studio closures. Like, we've talked about that. Now, achieving the 30%, we can argue all day about how that's achievable, and I will criticize them if they do things that I think are not right, like I did when they made their other moves, right? I just think the article specifically targeting this as the only reason that this is happening is kind of a fly in the face of Microsoft compared to the rest of the entire fucking industry, because the whole industry does this shit, and it's an industry fucking problem that I really think there's a lot of fucking money overspent on canceled projects. They make games, they cancel them. They're like 3 or 4 years into development when they're maybe even a year or two away from launch after they've invested hundreds of millions of dollars into them. They test projects, do pilot tests, vertical slices all the time, spend 6 months to a year sometimes on these projects, numerous ones, before they even fucking decide what game they're going to eventually make. It's tons of fucking wasted development time and stuff like that. They fucking waste money on focus groups, market research, all this other kind of bullshit. And they have all this fucking bloat and all these cancellations, all these other kind of fucking things. That is my biggest thing that I think they could fix to achieve better margins. And that goes for every fucking platform holder, and that goes also for every fucking publisher out there. Like, I just think the 30% is like, yeah, it's a target. Like, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to fucking mean the doom of Xbox if they don't meet it. Like, because I think that pressure's always there. And I think that pressure for Xbox has always been there to some extent. Nothing like it is now because of the size that they are. But that's not new news. That was the result of ABK that we already knew happened a couple years ago. So, anyway, I just think the outrage is like a little bit over dramatized today on Twitter and stuff because of this. Like,
it don't matter.
No. At the end of the day, none of it fucking matters. All that matters is what we fucking are playing in front of us and the access that we have to the games.
That's right.
So, my world's still fucking good with that. How about your guys? You fucking enjoying Ninja Gaiden 4? You looking forward to Outer Worlds 2? Are you addicted to Supermarket Simulator like I am? What are you playing? How much margin did Microsoft make on that game that you're playing? Do you actually give a shit? It's a question for the chat.
I just want their shares to split. That's all I want.
Fuzzy's a shareholder. He even doesn't give a shit.
No, he does. He does. His shares would go up if they shutter Xbox.
So,
It's true, though. You know it's true, Fuzzy. You know it's true.
So Joe says, what makes me think Microsoft can do this if the industry cannot? Do what? I don't understand that question.
Solve it.
Get
to the 30%.
I'm calling out.
Get to the 30. He's probably saying get to the 30%.
Nintendo's achieved over 30% numerous times.
But stop bringing up Nintendo, please.
I'm just saying that people act like it's unobtainable. Well, they figured out a model.
Oh no! Xbox can make some old ass hardware now instead of making a premium experience.
Yeah, let's all ask for that. Or we could try and like actually let what they're doing play out and see how it works out. You know what I mean? And
right, which is going to happen.
Turns out the next gen Xbox is just a Series S again.
Right.
No, it'd be the Xbox Ally Sketch. What is it? The Etch-a-Sketch.
Yeah, right. It's gonna be the Xbox One, just supercharged.
I mean, if your console takes $5 to produce and your games cost $5 million, you're gonna make a big profit when you.
It's purely gonna be a streaming device.
With the I'm pretty sure they still have some of the. They still have the innards to some of those Nokia phones, don't they?
Yes. Yes, they do. Their handheld will be reused window phones. Let's go. Be down. No, like I said, it doesn't matter because all this shit's going to happen no matter what, man. So it's not going to matter. We're gonna watch it play out live, just like we have this entire generation. And if shit hits the fan, shit hits the fan. This industry will continue forward, as I've always said. Whether Xbox stays in or out, doesn't matter. Even if Nintendo dropped out of the games industry because they utterly failed with the Switch 2, which isn't obviously going to happen. But if they did and they dropped completely out, this industry would move on without Nintendo. As weird as that would sound and be, it still would move on. So
Yeah.
we're just going to have to wait and
The
see.
new player would step up at some point.
Yeah.
I don't know who or what, but something would.
It would. Something would happen.
Maybe Steam. Valve would be the next player.
Right.
I think the main question people should be asking is not like, can they hit the 30%? Is like, what happens if they don't?
Correct.
But that's already been a thing for the last couple of fucking years.
But that's what, like, me and Paul were talking about backstage is like, if Halo doesn't meet that 30%, is Microsoft just going to be like, fuck it, Halo Studios, you're gone?
Well, I mean, this is part of, like, again, like this happened the last couple of years. This is why we've seen the changes we've been seeing. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not news that it's 30. It's just, hey, money guys are more in charge at Microsoft. That's the same thing we've already known the last couple of years.
But it is, because if it was 15%, it wouldn't be happening. A lot of this wouldn't be happening. So it still is new. It's true.
The multi-platform and stuff.
Yeah,
I guess I would have
cancellations.
Yeah, but like, why is every other publisher canceling shit?
Well, for
They're also
financial
struggling to
reasons,
make
but
profit.
let's say the goals were half. A lot of this stuff wouldn't happen. Maybe they wouldn't have bumped Game Pass as much as they did all at one time. Right?
Yeah.
Maybe they wouldn't have canceled Perfect Dark and they would have finished it out, right? Because they needed an extra 50 million to finish out Perfect Dark, supposedly, right? So maybe they would have given them the 50 million because they would have had that extra.
Yeah, but again, that's like all speculation. Because at the end of the day, it's an end
That's
goal.
what we do here,
right? But it is
the name of your channel.
Yeah, no, I'm not criticizing. I'm saying that we don't know 100% what it is that triggers whatever. Like, ultimately, the end goal is for them to be at a certain place, right?
But I was just saying, and it's, if you're just going to take all the noise out, Mav, your question was, right, the 30%, or your statement was the 30% isn't the big deal. My point being is it kind of is, because if it was 15%, you could make the argument that we wouldn't have seen a lot of the shit that we've seen, the negative, the bad side of things. That's all I'm saying. At a very base level. Like, again, yes, you're absolutely correct. We don't know the breakdowns. We don't know all the ins and outs, exactly what they're looking at. But just from a base mathematical value, if they had half the goal that they currently are seeking, chances are a lot of this stuff might not.
But the reason I disagree with that is because, like, we don't know the profit margin targets of the other fucking platform holders and publishers, and they've also had, and let's say their targets are 15%, and they still had game cancellations. You know what I mean? Like, we don't fucking know.
Well,
like,
right, but we do know, like, for Sony, specific reasons of why, because again, Concord was not a small failure.
Because Sony's fucking making horrible business decisions, and they're not profitable enough.
Right. But PlayStation is also very responsible for Sony's health, like more so than Xbox is for Microsoft's health. Obviously, it's not even arguable. So therefore, something like a Concord, obviously, doesn't matter what their internal goals are, affects Sony corporate a whole lot more than a failed, Perfect Dark or whatever you want to say over on Xbox's side to Microsoft.
So let's say, like, Sony comes out and like, it comes out that they are trying to strive for like a 27% profit margin in 2027 or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like,
if that's above the industry average, then it would be a conversation going, holy shit, corporate is putting a lot of pressure on PlayStation.
Yeah. That's all it would be, though.
Well, their fans would be like, see, it's a premium experience.
Well, right.
I'd be happy to pay that $80, $100 for a single player game.
Yeah. Mac22TH54 with a $2 super chat says, Pong is BS. If it was 15%, they'd still bitch. If it was 15%, they'd be like, that's not enough. That's not sustainable.
I wasn't talking about people. I was talking about what Xbox would be doing. I'm not talking about the people. Of course, you'd always be bitching. Like, again, constant. I'm just saying we might not have seen some of the dramatic moves that we currently have seen over the past 2 years, if you want to say this has been in place for 2 years. That's all I'm saying.
I personally don't think that we've seen all the moves yet, because we haven't seen the final products and development of the games coming out.
100%, 100% on that. And we also aren't done with layoffs. And I what I'm saying, like, I just hope that we don't have any of the smaller studio closures, right? Like, I hope we don't lose Compulsion. I hope we don't lose Ninja Theory. I hope we don't lose Double Fine, because they all have a culture and make specific kinds of games that we don't really experience by any other companies, right? And that was my biggest thing when we had lost Tango and Arcane Austin, right? Was that now Tango's resurrected, but besides that, like, when the news broke down, that was like, hey, this fucking sucks. Now I think they can still maximize and strive for good profit margins without shutting studios down, right? And I think that's the main thing we should focus on, is put that out there, right? Other than like Xbox is going to die in 5 years because of this ask.
I would say some of the positives to that that you can maybe look forward to is, like, we've seen Microsoft before where with Toys for Bob, for example, they said you can buy your company back. Like, maybe they would do that with Tim Schafer and Double Fine, because it's already been kind of independent things. Like, I mean, if you have the money and you want your company back, pay us a little bit.
Yeah. Or like they tried to help Tango with their situation, right? To help that deal take place, Yeah.
But I would say more for like the first party exclusive Microsoft stuff, like Halo Studios or Turn 10, like some more of the internal Microsoft stuff. I think they just shut those down. They don't sell those off.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll see. Time will tell, man.
Or they just put everybody on Call of Duty. Every single studio.
Yeah.
Well, that's the other thing. We don't want them. We don't want that to happen. We don't want everybody on Fallout, Call of Duty,
Call of Duty, Forza, Halo, and Gears. That's gonna be your 4, and that's it. Everybody's on them. That's it.
Yeah, we don't want that to happen. We still want them to and I think they're still going to be making tons of different games and stuff. But that'll tell. Like, we don't know that right now because of this news, right? But that's what, like, people are taking this as. Like, it's like that. This means that 100%.
I get that. I get that. You can project it out. You can be cynical and do it. Microsoft. It is something.
Too much fucking cynicism out there, man.
Oh, sure.
There's so much negative bullshit constantly.
But there has been some negative shit in this industry.
There has.
To your point, Matt.
From
in this industry, it hasn't been pretty.
All of them.
It has not been
all
pretty.
of the fucking companies. All of them. The worst consumer-oriented company is fucking Nintendo, and they're the fucking darlings of everybody. And guess who makes more profit margin than anybody else? Is fucking Nintendo. And you know what they do? Is they have less fucking actual high quality shit than anybody else.
But
why does that happen?
Because people are willing to put up
how
with
do
it.
fucking
That's why it has
gamers
to go to the lawyers?
If all you fuckers are so intelligent out there and have so much negative shit to say about Xbox, how come fucking Nintendo is your darling? They're the worst fucking example of what we should be doing in gaming today.
They're a pure gaming company who still believes in exclusivity, so therefore they're the darlings. It's easy.
Okay, so the best way to do gaming is keep games away from people. Let's go.
Correct.
And charge them for the remaster or remake.
Correct. And never improve them, or improve them incrementally over 2 decades.
And sue everybody out of existence that ever makes a game that looks like yours or sounds like yours, or even if people think it's yours, just sue them.
Patent and copyright everything.
Or how about let's let the industry darling be PlayStation? How about one fucking first party big game a year? Let's go.
That's fine.
Let's go. That's the way to do it. Less is more now, baby. That's what we want.
Movie quality.
How many fucking games did we get? How many games did under this 30% margin rule that they have? How many fucking first party games did we get this year on Xbox?
Well, that was already.
Are we at 12 so far?
Yeah.
I think we're at 12 this year.
So we'll see what's announced the next year, and then the next, and then what they come out with. We also know that they just.
We'll see.
We also know that they just doubled down on now with Game Pass Ultimate, the thing that they did, that there's 75 plus Game Pass Ultimate day and date games coming. Correct. How many of those are going to be first party and third party? We don't know.
Also, Microsoft's never lied to you before, have they?
Hey, remember your favorite showcase was the 12-month showcase, Jasper? Yeah, I'm not saying that again. Hey, they promised they got to hold up to that, so they have to get some shitty ass third party games in there if they fall short because they're advertising it.
Yeah,
And maybe there'll be
like
some mobile
Supermarket
games.
Simulator.
Yes,
That's actually a good one.
Gems.
It's addicting. Ball and pit.
What's
Okay,
happening?
What
Supermarket
do you-
Simulator
oh,
right
it's
there.
out, it's out in the back. He's got
Yeah.
it in the background.
Fuck yeah! I already spent 2 days in that motherfucker. Let's go. More games like that.
I worked in one for 8 years. I don't need to play one in real life.
You know what? I want there to be a power wash simulator and Supermarket Simulator crossover where I can power wash the fucking windows of my grocery store.
That'd be cool.
Well, you got the sponge and the mop.
It's true. Cygnus says, to be fair, Xbox doesn't have any game as blockbuster as Ghost of Yote. That's subjective.
Of course.
And
Blockbuster
but-
would mean that they would have announced like 5 million or 10 million sales. I don't think 2 million is Blockbuster.
Blockbuster
I
also
think-
went out of business.
I think to a lot of people, Blockbuster is game of the year quality, and as long as the wider community continues to give them flowers, whether we think it's accurate or not, really doesn't matter to most people. They just
Yeah,
think
like
that
the fucking golden joysticks had 2 fucking kart racers in there for the game
it's
of the year.
garbage. It's the biggest
Like,
garbage.
I mean, like, what are we calling blockbusters these days? Like,
Right.
Biggest blockbuster on PlayStation this year was Forza Horizon 5. Argue with your mama.
that's actually a true statement. Game Shark member for 28 months says Colin Moriarty wears Jenkos. I remember Jenkos.
Hey, Psychonauts used to wear Jenkos, remember? He
Yeah.
sent us pictures, I think.
Yeah, he was like, check out these
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
new Jenkos I just got. He sent us a
Jenkos.
picture.
Yeah, that's right. He did order some more. He
Yeah,
found them.
it's
He's like,
like-
hey, look, guys, they're making Jenkos again.
Hey, look what I just bought. I know I show you every week, but I just bought these for $20.
I'm all nostalgia for Jenkos. I used to wear these all the time to Dave Matthews.
I
get to
got
wear them again.
I got 7 pairs, so I can wear a different pair each day of the fucking week. I got it with some Dave Matthews shirts.
I miss Psycho. I wish Psycho.
but I
Yeah,
don't wear
where
them when
are
I'm
you?
fucking your mom.
He's got to be working.
I
He's
feel like
complaining
that's all he
about New
does.
Vegas not having an Xbox version.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. What was the deal with the New Vegas thing? It was like a collection or something.
It's PC only. Yeah, it's a collect. It's just all it is
15th anniversary
it's a
collector's
15th
edition.
anniversary. They have nothing
So there's
to
nothing
it
new,
other
or,
than
yeah.
No.
But there's also a
all they're doing
Fallout
is adding a collector's
4
edition.
thing also.
Anniversary.
which is
Yeah.
nothing new outside of they're adding the
They're just rebundling some shit
Creation.
into it and reselling it.
Creation.
Creation.
Okay.
yeah,
Right.
but they're adding the creation portion for the first time on console,
Right.
just like they did with Skyrim.
Okay.
Nice.
I mean, it already got its
And then
upgrades,
the
hopefully
Fallout
nothing
76 DLC coming out,
Fallout
map
76
expansion.
DLC and next gen versions coming out next.
Yeah.
We'll have to drag Psycho in here soon. Like, I don't know, just like have to like convince him to show up again. He's probably at his neighbor's house.
The best is when he used to fall asleep on camera.
Wasn't the last time he was on? He was in like
Remember that?
He was in
Remember
like
he
a-
used to fall asleep.
Yeah.
It was so
he
funny.
was in like last time he was on. He was like in a closet where his mom sews or
Yes.
something on his laptop or whatever.
Yes! Because there's all that knitting shit behind
Yeah.
it. That was
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. He had like fucking cabinets full of yarn.
Psycho fell asleep, or remember he'd go smoke and he'd never return.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta go get a smoke, guys. He'd never come back.
Oh, man.
It'd be hours later.
No, those were the best
Psycho.
days when 3-Bit was on
Yeah.
every week and Psycho was here
Yeah.
every week and stuff with you guys. Like, oh man, it was fucking awesome.
and
Good old
Halo
days.
afterwards.
Yeah,
Broccoli margaritas for 3-bit.
You guys had me playing Halo for a while,
yeah, no,
which was crazy.
We need to do some Halo. Maybe with this new Halo Fortnite, we can do some community nights again.
Halo Fortnite. What are you talking about?
Everybody's saying like the new Halo announcement's going to be like some like Fortnite or whatever.
Fortnite.
They're just like it's going to
I
be
will-
a games of service, free to play thing. Probably, I think is what they're saying. You know,
I will say, like, because there was the Halo news like last week or whatever, or the week before, where like some people were leaving, like from the art team or whatever. And you know what? Good, Because the new fucking Halo art style sucks. So can we go back to the old shit?
You're like, oh no. Oh,
Yeah.
I hate this news for Halo. You're like, fuck yes.
Yeah, everyone's freaking out. I'm like, yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens with the Halo announcement. It's supposed to be tomorrow, I think.
Yeah, the new
So-
Halo stuff
Is it?
announces tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. I get excited for anything Halo. So if it's like some free to play games of service Halo thing, like cool, it plays like a video game, and I'll get to fucking play a shooter. Now, if it won't be the only Halo thing they're making, so I'm not going to pretend like it is. Like, I think when that gets announced tomorrow, if it is a games of service free to play thing, you're going to have massive outrage from a lot in the community.
It's like I'm pretty sure it's like 90% sure it's Halo C remake or whatever.
Yeah, so there's that too. Other people are saying it's games of service free to play. I don't know what they're announcing. So, like, if they announce a games of service free to play thing, or if they announce the Halo CE thing remake that doesn't have multiplayer, and because that'll be the other big conversation. Like, I'm just like, fine, I'm gonna play it and enjoy it because it's Halo, and like, and see what it's like, and not bitch about it. Unless it looks like ass, we'll see. If they show me something that looks like ass, then I'll bitch about it. But gotta wait and see, man. All right, everybody, we got one last. Was there anything else major that I missed? No. Okay.
Not that I'm not paying attention though, so I'm the
Yeah.
wrong person to ask.
Um.
Not that off the top of my head, I can't think of anything else that was.
I mean, I don't know if like this is like super major because it didn't happen, but I know Warner Brothers have been trying to sell, like Paramount failed to negotiate or whatever with them, so Warner Brothers is trying to sell off some stuff.
Yeah, Apple and Netflix are involved, just like Fuzzy and I talked about, but Fuzzy definitely called that one. So there's some big players involved now. So, and it could shake up a lot.
What if
depending on who gets them.
Microsoft buys WB now?
PGK said that. I'm
Well,
like,
the
no.
market is,
I'm
just
like,
saying-
and now? I'm like, and no.
After that 30% thing just happened, imagine like
No.
the next day or whatever
No.
is announced that Microsoft bought them, and it's like, we're gonna shut down a lot of stuff
Yes.
after we purchase.
We're just gonna
them.
shut down. We're gonna shut down half the movie
We're going to
studios
keep
and half the
NetherRealm,
game
and
studios. So I'm
that's
like,
about it.
bro,
Yeah.
No, thank you. No. But again, it could.
Imagine
it could
that.
shake
I'm
up
just
a
saying.
lot.
Imagine the outrage that
Yeah.
would happen online.
the outrage
Oh,
would be-
it'd be
yeah.
absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we got one segment coming your way, and it's called. Where's my fucking thing? There it is. Tidbits.
That's what it's called. Where's my fucking thing?
Yeah. All right, everybody. This is Tidbits, where we look ahead at games releasing for the week. We'll see if the audio works this week. It didn't work last week.
Hot Wheels game. You hearing the Hot Wheels game?
Yes.
All right, this
Is
one I
another
had
one
to
of
do
these?
from a separate list because of it being a kids game or kids YouTube, so it can't be put in playlists for whatever reason. Hot Wheels, wait, where is it? Hot Wheels Let's Race Ultimate Speed coming to PS5, Series X and S, Switch, and PC this Friday for $35.99.
How many Hot Wheels games are there releasing? I feel like it's fucking.
There's one every year, it seems like.
And they have
And
the
why
Hot
would we
Wheels
need a
stuff
kids
in
version?
Forza.
Hot
Yeah,
Wheels is already
I think
kids
because
thing.
of Forza, they decided to make their own game.
Right.
Well, I saw on one of the words that was shooting across the screen, it said it was based off a Netflix kids show or something. So
Yeah.
I didn't know that existed.
I
So I'll
I
just
didn't
get
either.
I'll get copyright claimed from fucking Netflix now.
Yep.
Yay. Spotify removed one of our shows because of Tidbits.
That sucks.
Jump and shoot your way through levels full of familiar enemies.
All right, Angry Video Game Nerd 8-Bit coming to PS4 and 5, Xbox One, Series X and S, Nintendo Switch, and PC this October for $17.99. Or this, I guess that would be today. It's Thursday.
Only video I ever watched with this guy was when he played the Home Alone games with Macaulay Culkin.
Let's pop this fucker in. On a real cartridge. Designed and manufactured by MegaCat Studios. Coming to all platforms and NES on October 20th.
Yeah, I don't want to mute the audio all the time, Poison. We might change how Tidbits is done. I don't know. I gotta figure it out. Some say like if they listen on audio, this is when they kind of stop watching, you know, because like they can't see the shit.
I totally forgot this game was coming out, and now it's coming out on Game Pass.
Bounty Star. I love the name of this game.
And this is coming to PS5, Series X and S, and PC this Thursday for $22.49.
Or Game Pass.
Oh, it is Game Pass. Oh,
yes, it's Game Pass.
did not know.
Because it was announced so long ago, like I totally forgot. But it's got the mechs. I can't wait to play this.
Xbox needs to stop wasting money on Game Pass games like this if they want to be able to hit their 30% margins.
It's true. I mean, again, it's good for us, but the argument is there for sure.
Is this going to draw anybody into Game Pass? I mean, what's the point?
Nah, me.
It just works best for those that are already signed up for Game Pass. It's like, oh, I want to try something different.
Oh, it was added today.
And
it's an Xbox Play Anywhere too, by the way.
Oh,
I gotta download this.
Gotta love that, man.
Yeah.
I do want to. I wanted to give it a go.
Yeah.
It's called
Bounty Star.
Bounty Star.
Like if mechs were cowboys or Western.
Was this at the 12? Was this at the 12-month show? No, this was at the year after.
No.
Fingers crossed I can put
Has
on
every
some
game at the 12-month show finally released?
It's barely a teaspoon.
I think
low,
Silk Song
but
was
it's
like the last one, so probably.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. Silk Song
Yeah.
was there.
Wait, was replaced at it? Wait, was replaced at it? Was
Yes.
replaced at the 12-month show?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're still missing
we're
one.
replaced
Yeah.
Here, so. All right,
Let's
this
go.
next one is Double Dragon Revive coming to PS5, Series X and S, and
This
PC
is
this
so
Thursday
weird.
for $34.99.
Mav, you and I talked about this, right? Like
Yeah.
parts of it look cool, and then other parts like don't. Like,
Yeah,
I
and
love Double Dragon.
same.
I want to play this.
I played the shit out of Double Dragon with my brother on the Sega Master System back in the day. It was one of our favorite games, and and this is Arc System Works too, but it doesn't
Yes.
scream Arc System Works style to me at all.
No.
You know,
No.
it kind of looks like a janky 3D game, but side-scrolling 3D game. Like I don't love the graphics on it, like the art style with the
No.
characters and the animation.
But some of it looks kind of cool. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I want to love it because it's Double Dragon and it's Arc System Works. Like, I don't know.
See, if they went with the animated style,
Yes.
like what you see in the cutscenes and stuff, I think that would have worked better.
Yes. That's what they normally do in their fighting games. That's why
Yeah.
their fighting games are freaking amazing.
Or keep
think that would
it
be great.
sprite based even or something, or like retro
Yeah, I was
pixel.
gonna say, like- The Double Dragon.
But maybe it play is amazing.
Correct. Which it could.
I need to read some of the reviews about it.
That's out today too, huh?
Right, this next one is Godbreakers coming to PS5 and PC this Thursday at $27.99 on PS5 and $22.39 on PC.
ARPG? Looks like.
Razor says, "Love it if you want to." Like I'm trying, I want to love it, but I had something there keeping me from it.
Yeah, is this an ARPG?
It looks like it.
Yeah.
Why do we have cooking mitts? What
But see, this is another one of those games where it skips Xbox, at least I guess for a timed exclusivity or whatever. But when they have that hybrid next generation, you don't have to worry. And actually, buying it on Steam is cheaper anyway.
Better for me, like I said. Even though I
Right, this
wouldn't
next one-
care to play that fucking game anyway.
Right, this next one is Persona 3 Reloaded, coming to Nintendo Switch 2 this Thursday for $59.99.
Wasn't Persona 3 already on the Switch 1?
Yeah, but you gotta buy it on the
I
2.
was told that a persona is the power of the soul, also known as your other self.
I got this and 4 for my daughter on Xbox.
Destroying all those
So good.
creatures will put an end to the dark hour.
Why struggle against the inevitable end?
I need to finish Metaphor.
So do I need another one of me.
Handle it if
I
the
just
time we spent together disappeared.
so much
Just want
time.
to avoid unnecessary confrontation. I'll make you remember what you did to her. I'm gonna kill you!
I need to finish
Sometime in the near
Metaphor, man.
future-
Yep.
Yeah.
For some reason,
Sometime in the near future, we'll be able to clone ourselves to play video games and work at the same time.
As long as I can remember playing them.
I understand what my purpose is now.
So you'll have to plug in so you can transfer
Right.
memory and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, you certainly
Elon's working on that
so
right now.
Stupid.
Are you saying everyone will die?
You did this.
Death is nothing to be afraid of.
It doesn't matter if you're not afraid. It's not the point.
As sad as I am to hear it, I'll respect.
Jasper
your
becoming a
decision.
grazer.
Come on,
Poison
let's
says.
go.
I just don't have time to do anything.
Jasper's becoming an adult.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
100%. That's exactly what I was saying.
Right. Like this next one is Plants vs. Zombies Replanted, coming to PS4 and
So
5,
freaking good.
Xbox One, Series X and S, Nintendo Switch and Switch 2, as well as PC.
I
And
still
that's
love
this
it.
Thursday for $19.99 on everything except for those that have EA Play. You can get it for $17.99.
Or if you have EA Play Pro, you just get it
Too.
on PC. Which I did for Battlefield 6, so I'll actually have access to this game. I love
Battlefield
Plants
6
vs. Zombies.
Season
back in the
1
Yep.
starts on the 28th.
I saw a lot of talk about the Battlefield 6 skins.
Oh yeah, the blue.
Yeah, people are like, some people are mad that there's no weird skins. So they're like, oh, it's not going to sell anything because you have all realistic skins and no one wants to buy that shit. So I don't know.
So don't buy it.
There's
Just
other people
fucking.
that are mad. Then there's the Battlefield 6 people that are mad that there's even color in any of the skins.
Okay.
Literally,
That's-
literally they are. They're mad.
I'm hoping they bring out the Zac Efron and Morgan Wallen skins soon.
No.
All right, this next one is Power Wash Simulator 2, coming to PS5, Series X and S,
You're kidding
Twitch
me,
2
Fuzzy.
PC this
idea.
Thursday for $24.99, or included with your Game Pass Ultimate subscription.
What's y'all's game of the year so far this year?
It's between
That's tough.
Expedition 33 and Battlefield 6. I would put Silent Hill F in that list, but it wouldn't win.
Right.
It's a good game.
What about you, Fuzz? NASCAR.
I know that's also. Well, NASCAR 25 is up there. I gotta tweak a few things, but I'm gonna say a toss up between Hades 2 and Silk Song.
Right on. Pong.
If they say, from what I've played this year, probably Expedition 33.
Right on.
Dominate. Take
For me, like weirdly, my mind always goes back to Tony Hawk 3 and 4. And seriously, I've had more fun with that
Jeff
game.
Keighley's game of the year, so you know, games from fucking 7 years ago could be game of the year this year.
I've had the most fun playing that this year, I think, than any other game.
Cookie House. Compete with your fellow.
It's a new fucking game though. Like it is so different than the
Yeah.
old school Tony Hawk's 3 and 4. It's like as much of it's like the Resident Evil games, like a pure fucking remake.
And watch it all come to life.
A new Jackbox Party Pack 11 for $29.99 this Thursday on pretty much everything, including Mac and iOS,
5 new games, 1 pack.
as well as PS4, 5, Xbox One, Series X and S, Nintendo Switch, and PC.
Outer Worlds 2 definitely could take top spot for me this year. We'll see.
Yeah.
If I got enough time to play it consistently.
It seemed like mostly positives on the reviews.
Oh, it's 82, so
Yeah.
83, so yeah, no, it's great.
The Lonesome Guild coming to PS5, Series X and S, and PC this Thursday for $24.99 on PS5, $21.24 on Series X and S and PC.
Fuzzy says his is Final Fantasy Tactics if we're counting remasters.
Yeah. I mean, you could count, I could put Oblivion up there.
Yeah. See, I don't think, like, Final Fantasy Tactics isn't enough of a remaster. You know what I mean? Like, it's...
What? The full rebuild from the ground up with new story.
I guess the voice acting and stuff adds a lot to it. Too.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like one of my favorite games of all time. Like, so it's...
I would also put Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 in that list, but it wouldn't win. But it would definitely be a mention.
This next one is Chicken Run Extraction, coming to PS4 and 5, Xbox One, Series X and S, as well as Nintendo Switch and PC this Friday for $39.99.
And now you can join our flock of freedom fighters.
This might be Game of the Year.
Chicken Run Extraction.
Anybody see that, was it Escape from Duck Off or something?
Oh yeah, Escape from Duck Off. It's sold, I think, like 1 million copies on Steam already or something like that.
It's more than, it's like crazy numbers. Crazy.
I keep seeing like new posts every day, like how much it's selling or whatever.
Yeah. See, that might be the thing for all these studios trying to make extraction shooters. Just make something silly. And it'd probably sell.
Well, you have to find your niche that makes your thing unique or whatever.
Mm.
So how about it? Let's get this show on the road. And let the
Yeah, 1 million copies in less than a week. In 3 days.
Right, this next one is Mal's coming to PC this Friday for $14.99.
Card road-like?
Yep.
No! Stay with me! This is not the end.
Kind of get a weird, like, toned down version of what do you call them? Expedition 33 type of vibe with that.
Oh, Hell Is Us could be up there for me too, for Game of the Year. I gotta get back
Right,
to
this next one is Once Upon a Jester coming to PS5, Series X and S this Friday for $14.99.
Once Upon... There's a lot of games.
He's right. Let's start the show.
This was a pretty busy week.
Fight me, Prince. I will take
Fight me, Prince. Dances lovers, of course.
Can somebody go through all of our old episodes and find all of our predictions for the future of gaming and send them to me?
Another victory.
I want to I so much I want to post little clips and stuff when these things get announced, you know, and things happen that we talked about years ago. But there's no fucking way possible. We have way too many fucking shows and episodes to even go back and try and look at this shit.
Especially since we go off topic and we would do speculation on shit that we weren't even planning on talking about.
Right, yeah, it was random conversation most of the time.
Yeah.
And the journalists never give us credit for it, you know.
Well, there's some people that ask for credit all the fucking time or are so pissed off if they don't get credit for something. I never care about that, but it'd be interesting to put out there, just hey, look how these things are happening. You know what I mean? Because those fuckers called us crazy back then.
A long time ago, countless stars were born across the.
Still remember the day before the big Xbox leak for next year? I was like, yeah, they're gonna release a fucking remake of the Series S with no fucking disc drive or whatever.
That's right.
It's the next day. I was like, oh, that's what they're doing.
King of Kings.
Yep.
One day.
Right,
I said
Calamari?
Starfield would sell 25 million on PC in the first month. What?
Whoa! I want to see that clip.
That's crazy. If I said that, I had no fathom of reality of what numbers mean at the time.
I always wanted to play one of these. I just never have.
They're so much fun, bro. They're so chill.
Yeah, I know.
They really are.
Yeah, this is coming to PS5, Series X and S, Nintendo Switch, and PC this Friday for $39.99.
Fuzzy said Forza Horizon 5 would sell 15 million on PlayStation.
I think I gave a range. I know I said it would sell 5 mil within the first year. But I figured I wouldn't be. I think I said something along the lines of, I wouldn't be surprised if it sold 15 mil. But dang, I guess not enough PlayStation 5 owners liked it that much, but enough did to make it chart.
Did I say that? Did somebody actually say that? I said fucking 25 million in a month. That's crazy. I did say that 10 years in the future, people will still be playing Starfield and nobody will give a shit about Spider-Man 2.
Yeah. Pretty sure I agreed with you on that one.
When people were all talking about the fucking, Starfield's losing its audience, or all that, the concurrent, when they're posting the concurrent player counts on fucking Starfield.
Bro, people were saying that with fucking Battlefield this week. They're like, Battlefield's only at 450,000 players now. Battlefield's dead. It's like, okay.
How many copies did Starfield sell?
Coming October 24th, 2025.
Pretty sure it's around 18 mil, I think, total.
That was a long trailer for Once Upon a Katamari, I'll tell you that.
It's close to the 20. But that would include Xbox and PC.
Yo, Spartan 661 with 5 Fun Speculation gifted memberships. Appreciate that, Spartan. You rock.
Right, this next one is the House of the Dead 2 remake, coming to PS4 and 5 Series or Xbox One, Series X and S this Friday for $24.99.
They gotta figure out a way to do light guns on current TV tech. Bring back light gun games.
Yeah.
All we need to do is wait.
Playing Duck Hunt as a kid.
Games. I love light gun games. Still do. Virtual Cop was fucking amazing.
Shout out to Sega. Sega's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
People think Sega died when they stopped making consoles, but they're alive and well.
Yeah, I still wish they were making consoles though.
We don't have room for another fucking console, man. The Sega, fucking Nintendo, PlayStation, and an Xbox, and a Sega? Wait, I said Sega twice.
Yeah, you said second twice.
I would love it, but fuck, man. That's having to own too many different systems just because they make specific games. I'd rather just play their games on the other fucking systems at this point. I can't hook up four things to a TV.
This is Creepy Redneck Dinosaur Nation 3 finally coming to the iPhone this Tuesday. It's free to play with in-app purchases.
Of course. I love Match 3 though. Let's go.
And I don't mean a Nintendo Switch, I mean like an HDMI Switch.
Spartan661 got a membership gifted to him from his 5 Fun Speculation gifteds. That's awesome. So to make up for it, he sent another Fun Speculation gifted membership. Dude, you didn't have to do that.
Choo-choo, motherfuckers.
Rock,
Choo-choo.
Spartan661. Appreciate you, bro.
Death by Scrolling coming to PC this Tuesday
like
for $19.99.
What you think it was some farting?
Yeah.
Yeah. This sounds like somebody do it with their mouth. This looks kind of cool though. I think this is. I think I've seen this one before. This is Loot City, man. Let's go. Yeah, I like this shit. Is this a survivor game, or do you actually?
Yeah, I think so, but it looks like maybe you have a town or something you go to.
Yeah, it's like part survivor, part RPG kind of.
Looks pretty good.
This looks really good, actually.
Death
by scrolling, yeah, where it keeps going, like it keeps going.
Yeah,
you have to keep going.
I don't like that pressure.
Oh,
hell, I want to go where I want.
Right, this next one, Duet Night Abyss, coming to PC and mobile this Tuesday for free to play, in-app purchases, obviously.
What'd you say it was called?
Wet Night?
Duet Night Abyss.
Oh, Duet Night. I thought you said Wet Night.
Oh, Wet Night. That sounds like one of Psycho's nights. Psycho, where are you?
Must you shed before you're truly named the brave?
If he just randomly pops in here right now, I'll die.
I'm in your mom's room.
I'm here for the very end of Tidbits. What did I miss?
I just got done with my neighbor. Sorry.
Try to pick up this hot mom at GameStop.
This guy came in with selling Pokemon cards to get a Switch 2.
I told him to buy an Xbox. I made sure he did.
I sold him an Xbox.
He worked for the city government.
Gotta help them reach that 30%.
That story was the best. That story was the best. I convinced the city government guy to buy a bunch of Xboxes.
Yeah, they were gonna go PlayStation, but I told them about Game Pass and how it's like, the city government guys just got the $30 increase. He's like, "Fuck that motherfucker! He convinced me to do this, and we can't afford this in our budget."
What is this game? Is it all narrative? They haven't shown any gameplay yet. Come on, bro. I like the anime, but come on.
And this is supposed to be the gameplay trailer, if I'm not mistaken.
This is a horrible trailer.
Yeah.
A tale inked between night and morning light.
I mean, I kind of like it, but they should have thrown in some actual
Yeah, I know.
gameplay.
Yeah.
Right, this next one is Inmost. Coming to mobile this Tuesday. It's free to play with in-app purchases.
Oh, ow. This looks pretty fun.
Yeah. Mobile games are stepping up.
Yeah. Inmost. Yeah, I would give it a go. How much was that one, Fuzz?
It's free to play.
Oh, okay.
In-app purchase. All right, this is either Ire or Eerie. A prologue coming to PC this Tuesday for $19.99.
Nope. Nope.
Is it too scary?
Nope. Yeah, no.
Ire. Ire.
There's a demo right now on Steam. All you freaking weirdo horror fans.
This next one is 2 Point Museum.
Ooh,
Coming
nice.
to Nintendo Switch 2 this Tuesday for $29.99.
2 Point games are fun.
Sega. Yeah, you can get sucked into these.
Of course. They're like the old theme parks. They're like, you know, all that.
Yeah.
I love them.
Is this on Switch 2, you said, Fuzz?
Yeah, it's coming to Switch 2.
Look, I need to get something for the plane. I'm gonna play a game on
Yeah,
the plane
I
on
did
the
get it.
Switch.
I bought Pokemon so I could play.
Yeah.
Plane.
When are you flying? Where are you flying?
I'm going to Florida.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. You're gonna go to fucking see a rocket ship? You can't talk about it.
Hang out with, no, I can't. I'm just gonna go hang out with some friends for around Halloween. Go to a Halloween party. Go to Universal for a few days.
Right on, man. That sounds fun. I got Ball Pit on the Switch. Give me something to play on it. It's like I'm trying to find.
You should double dip and buy Final Fantasy Tactics over there.
I want to, man, but it's expensive. It's like 50. Is it $60? $50? That's what I should do. But you know, if it was Xbox Play Anywhere on an Xbox handheld device, I'd have my progress carry over.
Or just sell your Switch 2 and not worry about it, like you should.
I've already thought about selling my Switch 2 and my PlayStation 5 again.
And go get a ROG Ally X.
Yeah, that's what I've actually considered.
So you could sell that in like a year.
I just think I might actually use it more than the other things.
Right. This is Recreation coming to PS5, Series X and S, and PC this Tuesday for $39.99.
Oh, this is the one where you can build your own tracks and shit. That's right. I remember the preview for this one too. This looks actually kind of dope.
Yeah.
The chat's still debating about how many copies Starfield sold. I have no idea. I don't ever actually look up the fucking amount of sales these games get.
From what I saw, just a quick Google, was like the first couple of weeks they reported like 14 million players, and then only 3 million sold from non-Game Pass users or something like that.
Right, but that doesn't count Steam, right?
Here we go.
Or does that count Steam?
Here we go.
Yeah, it said 1 million of that was Steam purchases.
So that was in the first few weeks?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
Star Wars.
Yes! Let's fucking go, Outer Worlds 2! Yes! I want to play this
PS5, Series X and S, and PC this Wednesday for $69.99. Or include it with your Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscription.
Man, I'm really looking forward to playing this, guys.
Yep.
And like all good sequels, we've included
Except for the companions look like shit, but that's fine. Like I said, I like to play solo anyways.
Here and they really up their gunplay game.
Yep.
more weapons.
It seems like overall people enjoyed it more than Avowed that reviewed it, but I still like Avowed a lot too.
Get ready for an
I already know the
adventure
story will be, and the writing will be way better than
that took
Yeah.
3 times longer to make, but will almost certainly be 2 times bigger.
And must require a 30% profit. Otherwise, we won't get to make Outer Worlds 3. Nothing yet. Y'all are looking forward to Clockwork Revolution next year?
Yep.
I'm thinking it's gonna. I think that's gonna happen. Either that, or they're gonna announce it's canceled because of this 30% rule, and Pong is gonna have a meltdown.
Oh, I will melt down at that because that thing's ready. That thing's just sitting there ready. It absolutely is.
I hope they make another Wasteland also, or In Exile makes another PC.
And I will.
Like,
I will
CRPG.
predict that they will have the highest rated. Let's see. How would I put this? Because they're not going to be Forza, right? I think they will have the highest rated
non-racing
RPG
game.
Non-racing game. I think they will have the highest non-rated racing game that we've seen from Xbox this generation.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, hey, who knows? Maybe somebody clip it, bookmark it, save it because
bookmark it. I think that's what's going to happen. I think that could be a 90. I think that could be a 90 plus.
When Pong gets back, we'll be able to tell.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll be your week back when Clockwork Revolution drops.
Yeah. I'm so hyped for In Exile, and I just think that this is good.
So Mac22TH54 says, Mav, as of November 2024, Bethesda reported million copies sold. That's what million? 15 million. Okay. 15 million as of the last figure. They're on their way. Eventually it will hit, more millions.
More millions.
More millions. Eventually they'll get there. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Thank you for watching tonight. No show next week because I will be out of town.
Where are you going, man?
Going to.
Can you say? Or
I'm going to Salem.
Oh, you are?
Yeah,
okay.
The family's meeting up. We're meeting up with my wife's family.
Taking Kate back to her home country back that way.
Yep. So we're gonna see her family again, and spend Halloween in the Salem area.
Cool.
So
that'll be freaking amazing. It's so beautiful out there.
It's supposed to be really cool. So we're looking forward to that. We're staring at like a Airbnb and stuff for the whole family and stuff. Nice. So looking forward to it. We don't take many trips and stuff, so this doesn't happen often. And then when we come back the week after that, Pong won't be gone. It won't be here. So
nope.
It's
Poof,
sad.
Like the wind. Gone forever.
So how do I say goodbye to what we've had? The good times
and you can go
that made us laugh outweigh the bad.
Oh my gosh. Thanks, man.
And
Thanks.
I'll take with me the memories to be my sunshine.
Okay, more important. We have a super chat. More important, BT Maverick. BT Maverick 707 with a $10 super chat. He says, appreciate your voice in our gaming community, Pong. Always love your perspective, and you make every podcast you're a part of a must listen for me. Pong, can we get one more? Choo-choo, motherfucker. Listen, BT Maverick, all of you, everybody in this chat, love you all. And again, I appreciate every single one of you. You've been a huge part of my life. Like, so many of you have been regulars, not just here, but all the shows, like across the board. I've been in chats with you. A lot of you, I started out in chats with you guys before I even started podcasting. So BT Maverick and everybody else in here, man, I love you all. And you guys have been a big part of my life for the past 5, almost 6 years now. I'm going to miss y'all. Again, this isn't a permanent goodbye unless something very dramatic happens. This is not a planned permanent goodbye. I will be back in this community. I'll still be around. I'm just on social media as much. Like I said, if Mav's going to do a video game awards, the VGAs, the Keeleys live stream, I might try to make that happen and pop in and spend a show there. So, but love you all. You guys have been massive, awesome community to me. And I thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. You guys got me through, and I've told you guys this before, but if you haven't heard this, you guys have gotten me through things that you guys will never know about, that these guys on panel don't know about. They might know certain aspects of things I've had to go through over the years, but you guys will never know how much you guys helped doing these shows. So thank you all for that. And BT Maverick 707 for everybody else. Choo choo, motherfuckers. Choo choo. Let's go. Let's go, Mav. Let's go.
Right on, man. Thank you for that, BT Maverick, and also Pong. Thanks for being here all the time over these last several years, bro. So I know it's not the end of the road.
It's not.
But it's still so hard to say goodbye for now.
It is.
On the show, at least. But yeah, we'll see you again, hopefully soon. Sooner than later. Jasper, who is going to be spending some time in Florida soon, partying it up. Don't get in trouble, bro.
I'm good.
We'll be back.
I drank too much this year, so I'm never drinking again.
Right on, bro. Where can people find you, sir?
Lord Jasper Twitter, all that fun stuff. And like Mav said, he won't be here next week. I won't be here next week. So I guess the week after, if Mav comes back, we'll do shows again. So
yeah,
I should be free till like January. And then, I mean, the holidays might be a little different, but I should be here till January at least. So
right on, man. Looking forward to hanging out with you, talking games for that time. Fuzzy?
Yeah.
Where can people find you, sir?
And this was an awesome show. Love doing this with you guys. Love talking or interacting with everybody in the chat, even if we disagree on PlayStation and Xbox news and stuff. But all in all, always a great time. For those who want to hear my rambles and rants on anything gaming related, you can find me on social media. Well, you can find my account on social media. I'm not on social media as much as I used to. Just do a search for Fuzzy Belvedere and you'll be able to find me.
Right on,
Safe
Fuzz.
out there, everybody. Play some games. Enjoy your free time and if you have free time. Yeah, just be safe out there and play games.
Oh, thanks, Fuzz, for being here, man. Appreciate you guys. Spartan661 hit us with another 5 on the way out. Appreciate you for that. Choo choo, motherfuckers. And for that, I still got I think this is gonna work. Let me try it.
It's your stupid American cartoons.
Yeah, it is.
Choo choo, choo choo. Ha ha ha.
Shout out to you guys. Oh, wrong thing. Hey, appreciate you. As always, and I hope you all have a good one. Yeah, no show next week will be, and this was a long one tonight. I didn't anticipate going that long, but no show next week.
No.
And
sorry to keep you guys too.
We'll be back the week after for some content and stuff.
And remember, everybody, it is the golden age of gaming. So please get out there, play what you love what you play. And I hope you have a great rest of your week and great start to your weekend. And I will talk to you all down the road. So choo choo, motherfuckers. We'll see you soon.
Peace out.
I'll give you those tips on boot camp later
Bless
tonight,
you all.
General Pong. What is like the highest rank in Space Force?
General.
Is it general? Okay.
4-star. Yeah.
All right.
I mean it. Yeah.
So Navy would be admiral, and then I guess Space Force is general. And
every other branch is general.
Okay. I didn't know if they had like Spaceman Master or something like that. I don't know. Space Chief. Anyway, peace out, everyone. Take it easy. Bye.